access to his suits a whole bunch. It's like, man, kind of weird. I feel like we were in a universe, but now we're not. And then you go to Winter Soldier, and it's like, holy shit, Cap is on the run from S.H.I.E.L.D. Like they're trying to assassinate him. And it's like, Cap, you should probably contact someone for help. Like, oh, I don't know, Tony Stark.
Yeah, this is a big deal. Yeah. Ugh.
And it's funny because some people are like, why would he wouldn't, he was told by Fury not to trust anyone. It's like, what, you think Tony Stark would be working for Hydra? Really? I think if there's anybody you could trust, it would be Tony Stark in this situation. He fucking hates
It's like
authority.
the next person he goes to, he trusts.
Oh yeah, that's... We don't talk about Winter Soldier's plotline, Rags. That's another...
Winter Soldier has a really bad plot, guys. It's really bad.
It's that's one of, I think I've said before, but that's one of my takes that I've like kept to myself since EFAP started. I've just gone with the flow, and people are like, "Yeah, Winter Soldier's best of the MCU." And I was like, "All right, yeah, fine."
Who knows what other evil takes we have lurking beneath the surface?
Oh, so many.
Oh boy.
Such sights to show you, chat. Such sights to show you. Yeah. And then of course Thor 2, where he's battling the Dark Elf and his armada in like Washington or some shit at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
And, like, there's no Captain America and no Iron Man. It's like, that's weird. So yeah, Phase 2's problem was that the universe felt like it was disconnected again. Phase 3 was a little bit better. You saw Ant-Man and Falcon cameoing in like different movies where they weren't necessarily, you know, main. You had obviously Civil War was like an Avengers movie, but it wasn't. And it's like, wow, that's cool. Then Infinity War, which is 2 Avengers movies, so it's like an ensemble, no world building errors in that sense in those films. But now that we're done with that, I think we're going to be going through another phase of serious.
Oh, hello. Oh, right, I still have that on. Yeah, I got this anew, so I just want to wear it so it gets accustomed to my head, pretty much the head, because I can't wear it outside as much because lockdowns and shit.
Who knows what else is going to happen when we get our other movies. Thor 2's finale was in England? Oh, was it? I honestly can't... I think it was a couple of places, right? Because they're teleporting and stuff, and they literally, like, to other alien worlds. I don't know if either of you have seen Thor 2. It's a fucking ride at the end.
I remember seeing it when it came out, and that a ride is a good way to describe it. A ride.
A lot of people say...
Roller coasters are rides. The train to Auschwitz is a ride.
Oh,
ride
no.
encompasses many things.
Yes. A lot of people like to say that Thor 2 is often forgotten when actually there's not, you know, there's not that many narrative problems with it at all. And I remembered to remember the last time I watched it, there are totally issues in that film, but I knew that I would them. There are, and the main one is with those portal devices. Not only the luck of how they use them, but the fact that those things are a thing. There's lots to do with that, but there's other stuff too. It's just hard to remember. That film is one of the most impressive in terms of studying. It demands you forget it after you see it.
Mm-hmm.
I remember Ant-Man better, and that's often memed as the forgettable one. I don't know
wish
what
I could forget many things I've
something in
seen.
there. And anyone who's like a secret agent is going to want to try and synthesize what Thor 2 did so that it can escape like different scenarios. Very impressive.
Yeah, if a secret agent gets caught on the job, he has a little watch and it pops up with a screen and it plays Thor 2, and then at the end they're just. It takes a while.
Oh, wait,
but at the end they're just like, what? What happened? What happened? Who's there? Oh, gone. Ooh.
It was a guy we captured, right? And he's like, no.
I distinctly remember elves in space.
Yes. Evil Dark Elves. And it was Christopher Eccleston who played their leader, who was the Doctor before David Tennant. Connection. Oh my goodness. There's people in chat right now who are like, doesn't everyone know that? And I'm like, no, not everyone knows
I don't know. I didn't know that.
There you go. At Mola, at Rags, at Metal Commander, please take a look at Media Zealot's villains, I guess? Too Stupid to Win. There are some heavytisms over Sauron and the Ring.
Oh.
Is that right? There's probably at least 1 or 2 instances where Sauron could have done something better, but I would be very interested in defining him as too stupid to win. It's like, I don't know. Maybe you could convince me though. Nothing's impossible.
Possible.
Yes, check out Media Zealot Sauron video. Well, you know, perhaps could be interesting. Despite making up roughly 13% of the casts of EFAP 138, Rags accounts for over 50% of the discussion and 100% of the spanking naughty chatters.
Impressive.
The
I
thing
love
is,
the
though,
spank.
me and Fringy did plenty of spanking too.
Stop spanking everyone. Jesus.
But you're not me.
No.
Aw.
It's like it never happened, really.
Muller, I have to ask, are you a penguin? I figured I'd ask the hard question since no one else is willing to. So,
No comment.
I'm gonna be honest, yeah, answering that is complicated. It's not something I really want to engage with. I think that if enough people are asking this question, then it very well may be legitimate. We should be worried. Hashtag not my penguin. Damn. I
Wow.
don't see why it's a problem that I would be a penguin. I don't. A longwin. That's what they would be called, I suppose.
Whatever happened to you being a walrus?
Oh yeah, that's
Walrus.
well. Who knows? Maybe, perhaps I can shift into many animal forms. And it's about the environment or the point I need to make.
People in my chat are confused that I'm wearing a hat today.
Oh wow! It's because he's ill, everyone. And he's
No, I just got
shedding all of his hair.
I wear this hat for medicinal purposes.
No, I just got it new, and because COVID, I don't go out much, so I have to wear it inside. So it's getting. I was
Were you gonna
missing
say
a
like
word.
getting it fresh air from its closet or something?
Yes, yes. I was thinking of something more funny, but in my head I realized it doesn't work, so I just failed
I
completely.
just picture you patting the hat. You're like, you can come out and play. And it's like,
come out.
"Eh."
Yeah, it's fine. What's Moodle? You can do it. Nah.
Bam, 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 bam. I prefer the Connect 4 gambit to the name one. What is the Connect 4 gambit? Is that a real thing or am I getting fucked with?
The Connect 4 Gambit? Let me look up.
Oh, is it because you said it's name 4?
Oh yeah,
that
I
a
thought
game?
honestly. Oh yeah, Connect 4 is a game, but I was curious.
Oh
if,
yeah, Connect 4. I thought name or is name 1 or
I guess that was the connection.
Connection. Yeah, I
Connection.
thought maybe that there was a gambit actually named after like Connect 4 or something. I was like, all right,
Yeah.
let's
That's
hear
I
it.
just
What is
googled
this?
it. And
Yeah.
I don't think there is.
I just assumed you've had a dodgy haircut. No, it's all the same.
Yes, I'm sure that's totally not the case.
Fuck you, man.
I have my driving test today. If I fail, would you guys publicly shame me for an hour?
I'll do it if you
is that
won't
just
fail
what-
too.
Is that just what you get off to?
I was gonna say, because it is
I-
like a real answer. I'd be like, well, no, I don't want to. I want you to be confident that you can get it next time. You know, I want
I
to be
just
like, you
like
know
being
what?
humiliated.
He fails it deliberately just to get that to happen. He's like, "Please."
Tell me I failed and I should have succeeded and I'm worthless. Ask me while I pull out my pathetic card.
While I pee.
Yeah. Make me shit on the lawn while the neighbors watch.
No. No poopy.
Just like slowly opening the curtains. Like, what?
Tell me how much you
why?
just.
Hello, Mola. Please check the Mola subreddit. I made a post for you as requested. Cheers, you Tismy Welsh penguin. I think what he did was make the same post that Rags one was and switch his name for mine in basically all of it. See what happens.
Are there penguins involved though? I need to know.
Oh, it must be.
That's a lot of enemies.
I don't want Mootle to feel left out here, so grrr, Mootle, you Flumpeldengus, get a degree in smart and then come talk to me.
Oh,
Also,
man.
Oh,
Oh,
destroyed.
I'm gonna go to bed and cry.
I'll tell you what. Yes, he streamed it, but like, do you think it's verifiable that he actually played the game? Because I don't know.
Not
Like, I
really.
was watching
Could
him
be.
play it. One time he was like, "Oh man, I'm gonna kill this guy right now," and then he like clicked his gun, he's out of bullets, and then he went, "Oh, right, I'm out of bullets." Yeah. I was
Oh.
like, I reckon he was playing footage from Markiplier,
Oh boy.
who didn't play it either, because he was playing footage from.
It's only
Jack
one
Zappa
person
guy.
on all of YouTube who played the game. Just realized I got an item. What does that do? Oh, okay.
Some people are like, "Wow, your gameplay is like 1-to-1 with everyone else's." It's so weird.
Yeah,
And
I
with a
don't know
game
what
like
it.
with a game like RE8, I would forgive you for thinking that.
Oh, the shade.
Yeah. Yes. The whole blanket. I very much appreciate that you call out chat messages or even super chats that you disagree with. Shows you actually engage with your viewers. That's kind of, yeah, I mean, the idea is that we're not trying to coax more of them or keep you in a happy place. Like, if we keep chat happy, they will be happy with the show, and thus we will be better off. It's like, no. Seriously, anything you say, we're going to take it as if someone in this call said it.
Yeah.
Be like,
I'm getting wrecked.
scrutiny. And yeah, some, I think, will find that to be a negative, but some will find it to be a plus.
Oh, balls.
Best friend Mola, I didn't super chat last time because I didn't have interest in Resident Evil, but I'm glad you chose to hang with me today. Hi, Rags, and not host Metal. Oh,
Oh,
Hi.
man.
I'm the host either. I'm a guest.
Yeah. What's that about?
and you know,
Make a guest.
podcast nomenclature, they often say, like, any guest of the day is a host for that day. That's how it works. So,
I did play it. I streamed your gameplay, but I streamed your gameplay.
Like, wait a minute.
Metal is a host in my heart. Aw.
Oh, beautiful. Also, glad you like my Penguin Star Wars meme, even if you didn't get it.
And I'm dead.
Oh yeah, that was.
I remember it now. I remember it now because if you
Yeah, it was
said
the-
you were talking to Twin Perfect and
I saw people like,
George
how
Lucas
did you not
scene.
remember that? And I was like, I don't know how I didn't remember that because it's apparently
none
an
of us did.
example once too, which is just if George Lucas says Star Wars is a penguin on a chair, what do you do with that information? And all apparently he did in his Discord after the conversation was like, what a ridiculous example. Of course, they could only prove their point with ridiculous examples. It's like, yeah, that's not how hypotheticals work.
Yeah.
But that's fine.
A lot of people have trouble understanding what hypotheticals are and
What they
like how
achieve.
useful they are.
Yeah, like what?
Yeah,
the fuck
what purpose they can solve.
I get this all the time, and it just makes you wonder. It's like, I'm not allowed to do an extreme example, am I? Because they don't actually understand what I'm doing when I do it. I have to use an example within reason, which is something I'm totally cool with doing after. When you say something like penguin on a chair, and then they go, okay, I understand what you're saying, but have you got any real-world examples of this happening, where an author says something is the way that it is, despite the fact that most viewers disagree? Which is an interesting way to go, because if I said, no, I don't, they might be like, well, maybe it's not that practical then, but it may still be true theoretically, or something like that. The
Yeah,
conversation
you
has
walk
direction.
people towards, the point.
The problem with EFAP is Metal Commander never lets Charlie talk. It's a travesty. Yeah, I'm sorry about that.
That's pretty bad. If you have a chance, check out Mundown. It's artistically beautiful, mechanically tight, and the story is well done.
Mundown.
Never heard of it.
Mundaun. Mundown.
Mundown. Let me take a look on Steam. It came out like yesterday.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
what is it?
Very, very positive reviews. Mundown is a lovingly hand-penciled horror tale set in a dark, secluded valley of the Alps. Explore various areas full of secrets to discover, survive hostile encounters, drive vehicles, fill your inventory, and solve a variety of handcrafted puzzles.
Oh my god, what a game to play after
Interesting.
something like Resident Evil. Yeah.
This looks like an interesting game. I will put this on my wish list for later.
There you go.
Do it.
Speaking of brown table takes, have you guys seen the tweet in which he says someone has a bad take for saying characters shouldn't be defined by their skin color? Crazy stuff. So
Yeah.
to really boil all of this down, right? Because they're gonna rely on a disconnection to try and prove you almost the idiot or the racist in this. So what they'll appeal to is that race is going to have mattered in the way that you lived your life, therefore it is going to be relevant to their character / their history. But what we're advocating for is how much you empathize with a character shouldn't be affected by the color of their skin, rather the content of the character. And if the content of the character was determined, say for example, you have a character who really hates white people because of the amount of racism they had to deal with growing up or something, and then you go like, I can empathize with them a little bit because of like I went through similar things when I was growing up, and so like the race element is like a part of how you would analyze how you connect with them. But this shouldn't extend to the point where you say, I empathize more with Miles Morales than I do Peter Parker because of their skin color. It's like, Jesus Christ, that's just
Yeah.
terrible.
That's the thing where you're not allowed to say that if they're
Arak, thanks for the resub.
it's very well accepted, and nobody's being critical of what's being said there. You know, by the way,
It is sad.
it was I'm just gonna remain vague on the names for this one. There were 3 people in a stream. One was trans. The other 2 were black, but they were all using avatars that don't give that away, and their voices don't give any of it away either. And they were talking about, I think, like race issues. I think something like that. And someone commented saying the last thing I'm gonna do is listen to a bunch of cis white males talk about race issues. Like that shit is just, it's almost wonderful in the sense that it just proves everything about what we try to encourage, which is don't do that. Like, listen.
Not good. Do
the
not do it.
argument. It's super awkward when you jump to conclusions about race, because you know what that means? You know what it does for your character? It's not good stuff, I'll tell you that.
Who was this?
I don't know, Mel. Why'd you keep asking me?
I said you had all the answers. You tell me what that item does right the fuck now.
I don't know if you guys have got my stream up, but I've always like found it fascinating that the houses in the background of Simpsons Hit and Run behind the main ones. It's like, Jesus Christ, look at those. They're on like this weird hill, and they're almost so in the form of shape you can't even like.
You almost don't even know their houses are supposed to be. They're just strange geometric arrangements, like crystals poking through the dirt.
They're all over as well. There's just these weird hills, and I guess it's to make you feel, like, look how bizarre that is. What's going on there?
Yeah, it's to make you feel like, yeah, you're part of a bigger world.
And I think it would have worked for the most part, because I only realized that about this game when I first like emulated it on Dolphin. I was like, whoa, what is that shit? It's like, yeah, that's the background. They know what you're looking at, it's too long. I thought they were a part of the skybox. They could very well be. I don't think they're... Well,
they're not.
They're not a part of the playable world. I'm not 100%... What is a skybox in Max? Is it literally just like the wallpaper of the world?
Kind of, yeah. That it just extends over. But these were clearly... Like, they exist. They're part of the world. You just can't get to them, and they're modeled. They're just very low detail.
Yeah, I imagine you'd fall through them if you were dropped over there.
Maybe. It's just
maybe
the
not,
space
yeah.
between. I don't think you would. They probably really are just landscapes.
Solid blocks.
that
They
you
could
just
be.
can't get. Yeah.
Well, there's a cheat in this game that I could actually use on this if I knew what it was, but it makes it so that if you blow the horn on the car, you do a super jump, and it literally could only exist to try and break the game. Like, it seems to me that's the only reason they put it in. It's just like, go have fun.
You break the game without that, that's fine.
Yeah, I can do it.
Hey, what up, Yabi?
EFAP 92 is the best one. You masters didn't even cover a video. You just hung out with a chill guy and talked about things that you were all interested in. I think that's the first one John CJG came on.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm right. Yeah, we talked about all kinds of things. It was really chill. It was writing, I think we mainly talked about.
Yeah, it was nice.
Dude, did you
I
ever...
think someone was like, Rags didn't talk very much that time, or something like that. You were just like, I was listening to a lot of it.
Yeah.
Can't win with them.
That's the thing. I'm pretty sure they would notice if Rags would disappear. Trust me. The show's not gonna be the same.
Got a pretty OP item. I've never had that one before. Did you ever have an item that gives you like a... As soon as you enter a room, is there a gun in this game? I wonder. You enter a room and then like all the enemies in the room just get instantly a bunch of ticks of damage and just get stronger the stronger you get. It's like it's like a radioactive thingy. Toxic shock is the name.
Maybe I'm not. I can't quite remember. But yeah,
pretty insane. You just go into the room and they just immediately get damaged.
Nice.
Like, most of the enemies just die. It's like, oh, neat.
No, it's definitely gonna be useful.
No.
No excuse to lose now, Mel, when you're streaming.
Oh, you know I can still lose. I'm very good at fucking up really powerful runs by being a Dumbo.
You know, while it's on my mind, slight tangent. Does anyone either here or in chat remember Indiana Jones's Desktop Adventures?
No.
I never played that.
No. So it was like, I remember playing it on an old Mac. It was just a game, and it was like a windowed game, and it would randomly generate an Indiana Jones game, and you would walk around like a grid, and you would have to, you could find like pick up different weapons, and you'd fight little enemies like snakes and spiders and Nazis and evil tribesmen and stuff. And you'd have to find a big treasure at the end, but a lot of it would be randomized. All the caves and locations you'd go to, and so there'd just be every time you loaded it up and played, it would be different. And I was just curious if anybody else had played that. And there might have been different forms, like they kept the code, but they changed all the aesthetics, so it wasn't Indiana Jones this time, it was something else. But I remember the Indiana Jones one, and I really enjoyed it, and I think that would be cool to play on stream, to just go through these Indiana Jones desktop adventures.
Oh.
Let me take a look. And I'll show you what they kind of looked like.
Well, I looked at, there's apparently some news. Warner Media is being sold to Discovery, and the two will form a new media company to compete with Netflix and Disney+. This is not good news for DC Comics, Rooster Teeth, or any other strong division of Warner Media, as there will be cutbacks after the merger. Interesting.
Imagine the DCU just stops.
You're out.
Like, guys, come on. It was kind of a meme, but like, we've got to stop doing it now.
Yeah, became a bit cringe. Can't do that anymore. But yeah, that's wild.
Yeah, you just load it up, and it would randomly generate a
Just completely ignored
like a
me.
world, and you could look at the map, and you'd have to fill out the map and go to the different areas and zones, and you have to pick up keys, and the keys would go in certain doors. It wasn't like Metroidvania, but it was just an adventure game where it was very reminiscent of the old class, a lot of old classic stuff, and it was top down and it was grid based, and you'd have to move. Like I even remember the noise that they would make, but you'd have little mini puzzles where you would have to like move blocks around to get to items, and you'd have to use like a keg of powder on like a cracked part of a cave entrance or something like that, and it was really nifty, really kind of cool. Really liked it.
Fast and Carry, thanks for the reset.
Little
Stream it, bruh.
nostalgia moment for me. I wonder if it still works. I assume it does.
I don't want to use
Rags.
copy items.
Just so you know, I stand ready at all times to defend your snow from Fringy's goo. That goo shall never taint your snow nor enter your fridge. I swear upon the tombstone of the great Stan Lee.
Brother.
God. Yeah.
But yeah, we have to protect the purity of our snow, right? The snow is very useful. It's fun. It's wonderful. Even though I don't like winter, I really do like snow. I think the main reason I don't like winter is because of how it gets dark so fast. I fucking hate that. But
Yeah.
snow I like. I like being in the snow and playing in the
like it.
snow and having adventures in the snow. I like when it's snowing and you're trudging through the ice and the snow and the winds in your face and the snowflakes they're hitting your head. And you're going on and there's no one around and you feel like you're on an adventure even though you're just going a couple blocks down to CVS and you're hoping that they're open maybe and they got to work and you're just trudging forwards, and it's okay if you're walking in the middle of the street because there's no cars out anyway, and it's great. It's really cool and fun.
Oh god, what if the Snyderverse is the next streaming service? Oh no.
What does that even mean? That we just oh god.
All the DC
Someone
stuff.
said-
All horrible DC stuff.
Someone said, so rags hate Christmas because it's in the winter then. Well, here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. I think that Christmas is benefited by the fact that it is often very cold outside and very snowy and icy outside, which means all of the family is encouraged to stay together inside the warm home. The house becomes like your shelter from the frigid outdoors, and you're together. And even though it's toasty and warm and intimate inside, you can look out the window and see that it's snowy and white, and it isn't all that pleasant out there. Whereas if you have like the 4th of July, right? It's in the middle of, well, not the middle of July, in the middle of, like, it's in summer, it's in July, it's hot, and you go outside and you barbecue together and you're setting off fireworks, and it gives you very different vibes. Someone said he doesn't hate Australian Christmas. Very true, very true. Christmas is great.
Honorable mention how Halloween is awesome. Just saying. Just put it
Yeah.
out there, okay? It's fine. It's
Yeah.
fine.
Tell Mola he's a
Halloween's
flumpy
alright.
penguin. And I'm gonna make a long Reddit thread about him that's objectively awful of him.
Can't be proven.
Wow.
No, it's not
Oh, that was a
verifiable.
LucasArts game. Indiana Jones Desktop Adventures was a it was a LucasArts game.
Well.
Can't
Who'd have
find-
thunk it?
Can't find the item on the list.
Do EFAP 84 is the best one? Oh, you.
Mhm.
Nobody's favorite is 84. It's like the metal of EFAP.
Whoa, that's really bad. I mean, hey.
Yeah. Gosh. Fight for yourself sometime, Mel. Jesus.
No.
Jesus juice.
Jeebus.
How did Fringy start calling it Jesus juice on his stream? I don't remember telling him it was that. It's not that in game, right? They don't actually call it Jesus juice. Somebody in his chat maybe said use the Jesus juice. Could have been that.
Use the Jesus juice.
I don't even know why I called it that. I'm trying to think. It must have just
Oh.
been because.
I was just really happy I found Jesus juice in Binding of Isaac yesterday. It was nice.
Well, it's only natural.
Yeah.
They think Rags will just sit there and take it like good little boys, that he won't liken out and go wild. Oh, reference.
Potential new
I'm
casting.
gonna go werewolf.
Brie Larson to play Mara Jade. Oh boy.
I hate $60 for 10-hour games. COD, cough, cough. RE. I don't know. I felt like the money was fair with this one. I got my money's worth, if you will, from playing it.
I wouldn't recommend buying it for $60 though. Wait for like 30
Yeah, I
max.
suppose that's kind of funny, right? Because I agree with that. It's like I also wouldn't recommend it. It's like, wait, so was it worth it or not? It's like, well, I feel like I got what I paid for,
Mm.
but at the same time, I don't know that it's worth it. It probably is for someone who loves Resident Evil 7, though. I'll keep saying it 'cause it's true.
Yeah, it's probably the best way to kind of describe it.
It just hit me that this conversation is happening right now. Damn, maybe it's because I'm high. It happens to me a lot, though. Am I high too often? Maybe. Maybe. Hi, Rags. Hi, Mullet. Hi,
Hi.
Commander.
Hello.
Hello.
Jesus juice or Satan squirt? Yeah.
Sad I missed you reading my chat, but you guys need more positive chats. Shut up and take my money and stay awesome. Oh, that's really
Hey.
nice. Thank you very much. Wolf was even more aggressive than anything Rags ever does. These people couldn't handle Wolf on a nice day. I wish him the best. Alpha to my Omega. Aw.
Yeah, Wolf is like the Modern Warfare 2 lobbies on Xbox Live. Y'all is like, if y'all were there back in the day, y'all would flip out.
Dude, the summary of what is being said there, right, is when in EFAP 100, I think, was it me? I think I set him up. I was like, so Wolf, you saw EFAP 93. What did you think? And he was like, okay, I'm gonna be civil. Oh no. It would have been funny for Wolf to have his candid reaction to that Lord of the Rings video. Probably wouldn't have been what the word is kind. He wouldn't have been kind, I think. Wolf was true daddy. Sorry, Longman. It's all right. The daddy label should be shared. You know, it shouldn't just be one person.
Yeah.
Have more than one daddy. I'm sure everybody would like to experiment a little. Yeah. No judging here. Upvoted the post not because I agreed, but because I guess the more people would see it, the more entertaining value it would bring to the comments. Well, who knows? I don't know that it's a good idea for me to look at the subreddit for the next few days. I feel like it's going to be carnage in there, talking about like whether or not what was said was bullshit and leave the Reddit alone, versus like people who were like, no, it's bad. Mola, do you never play Simpsons Road Rage? Not really. I think this game is strictly better. I think that it does most of what Road Rage does. It's not entirely the same, of course. It's just that there's a couple of missions in this game that kind of achieve what Road Rage does, and then there's loads more. So I just prefer it.
I posted something in Discord.
My
Wait,
God.
where's Australia? Oh, it doesn't exist. That's fair enough.
Nobody knows.
Oh, hello, Riza.
Oh, sorry, I'm losing track of some of these. Where are you going? Don't know if you lot have seen the latest Batwoman, but my god, if it isn't the worst episode so far. Love and tisms to all.
We're excited to get
way-
back to it.
Oh
we're
yeah.
trying
We're
to
behind.
book. We're trying to book Kong versus Zilla, and as soon as we get that done, which we're kind of getting done after we solve the next EFAP meme FAP, which we still need to set up. Also catching up on Superchats. We got some stuff getting in the way, but there's a Batwoman episode that is honestly ready to be premiered. I'm probably gonna do it real soon, and we're also like a couple days away from having the Mortal Kombat one finished,
boy.
as in like premiering, not just that it's ready to be put into YouTube and stuff. So yes, and that one's rather fun. Rags, I'm currently at the 3rd stage of grief. I don't need the Mando vid anymore. I'll take anything. Can you at least spare a crumb of dog bites?
Crumb.
Don't worry. The video I'm working on, because I decided what I'm having a big commission done that'll be used for channel videos in the future, both on Dog Bites and on the main channel, that will speed up production a whole bunch. Because I've very accurately identified what slows me down a lot of the time, and so I have something that's being commissioned that will speed things along, I would say substantially. So hopefully that when that gets done, which should be soonish, and it'll be really great. I'm hoping this is going to be really something really awesome, and that'll be in videos prominently that I could use. So don't worry, like stuff's getting done. But I just I do what I can when I can, and I do have ideas, and there's stuff that I've like had done and work that I've put together myself that just hasn't even been in videos yet. And I have ideas for what to do, but I haven't put them into action yet. So don't worry, it'll come when it comes. I just don't want to make any promises as to when it'll be out.
James said I should be playing RE4 because it's a GameCube game. It's like I was actually gonna. I don't have it on Dolphin because I have it on PC, but the mouse was not being it was being a wumbus, so I have to sell for hit and run today. I don't usually play this game at all, so it should be nice and refreshing for a lot of you out there.
The reason why people go after Rex is because he's the easiest target to get reaction out of. Metal doesn't give a damn most of the time, and Mola, even at times you throw your ideals over the window, you try to keep your cool. Rex is the most reactive.
Honestly,
and that is exactly what they want. A bad
I reckon
take
Fringy's
from
more
all of you.
reactive than Rags is to comments.
I would say I could see that.
If you ask me from choosing from my gut, which one of all of the people of EFAP reacts the quickest and angriest to comments they disagree with, I'd be like probably Fringy, and that's not at all criticism. I find it very enjoyable.
Yeah.
I like it too, because it's almost always wrong.
You think Fringy's almost always wrong? Wow, Rags exposed thread coming
I
up.
was referring
Thread's
to
coming up.
something else.
Too late, Rags. You've destroyed
I
everything.
said, clip it, take it, and then say it was about Jesus.
Golden trinkets.
Also, play Doki Doki Literature Club, Dumbos. You return.
I'm gonna write that down so I don't forget about it.
Doki Doki Literature Club, never play this, in parentheses.
Got it.
There you go. A face cam is for EFAP 100% out of the question. There's no amount of money in the world I wouldn't have paid to see a reaction to, oh my god, he's a queer. I really like the format, and like I said, one of the main reasons I first did it was just like I don't have to care about getting my everything in frame. Like I just I could just
Yeah,
be
I can move
wherever I
around
want.
and slouch and lounge, and I don't have to worry about looking nice. And then what about this stuff behind me and that sort of
Yeah.
thing? I'd have to change. I would have to change the whole desk and orientation so that it didn't show what's behind me.
Like, you guys probably don't know, but to get Metal looking the way he does, he needs 3 hours of prep time.
Yeah.
We were pouring water over him and trying to get him to sober up for hours before his stream started. He was like Shoji Tabuchi.
Yeah, it's unacceptable, and wouldn't want to risk that. But and I really do feel like EFAP is certainly with like EFAP movies and minis reactions and stuff. It's like I honestly think that we've managed, like the icons on Discord, the rings, and then the animations that a lot of the editors come up with. It's like they're pretty damn good as they are, I'd say.
Oh yeah, I
very
really like it.
unique.
They really come to life quite well for a still image. There's a lot you can do with them. And clearly, you don't need a face to single out one person in particular based on just that. So, yeah.
Yerp.
How long would it take to make metal actually look good? Fuck you.
3 hours, okay? 3 hours.
Have you seen Don't Blink? I recommend it as a horror movie. I think I heard the name, but I haven't seen it. Any of you guys?
Don't blink. I know Don't Breathe, I think
Is that the documentary on Duncan Jacks?
I don't know who
That's
Duncan
the
Jones
reference
is.
I don't get. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Yeah.
It wasn't. I would be shocked if anyone got the reference, but that's okay.
Someone in chat is about to say, I got it. And they don't. They might even be lying, but they'll say it.
Bastards.
Yeah. There's a couple of movies that are based around a sense being blocked out. It's like, oh my god.
That's
I think what's the one? Because Mike Flanagan made one. I think it's called Hush. We watched that one, right? Metal.
Hush.
Did we?
Hush?
When you visited? I can't remember if we watched it.
Which
I think
one
we did.
was that? Was it with the blind?
She
No.
was a deaf woman. I
Deaf.
think.
Yeah. We watched that.
Yeah.
We did watch that.
It was okay.
It was okay. Yes.
And we watched another Mike Flanagan movie, and it was okay.
Gerald's Game. His strength is in TV. I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
Gives him more time. Maybe that's the reason. I don't know.
Everybody's gone out and having fun.
For Resident Evil 8, did you miss mentioning how Flumpy Moroacia?
Excuse me.
Moroaica.
Moreau is.
Moroica?
Moroica.
Something like that?
Are we thinking? Hang on, I'll read the sentence. It'll probably make sense. Did you miss mentioning how Flumpy with the repeated circling around, knifing them in the back to eventually kill them? Oh! So the reason why we didn't really bring that up was because, like, that's something I tried in, like, the opening hour or two, and then I never needed ammo, so I never really used the knife.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, oh, it's so dumb when you, like, circle around them and use the knife, because you can basically just kill them without getting hurt, but then... I think I remember saying this to both of you, actually. I was just like, yeah, it takes so long to do that like the time I lose with it is not worth it. I have so much ammo that I don't need to worry about that.
Yeah. It's not like Resident Evil 4.
No,
Where you
not
have
again.
Yeah.
where
Wow,
you have to either knock them
145.
down, or you have to bait them into attacks, and then you could knife their head to make them stumble back, and then kick them down. Where there's like some element of like you're playing the game. This is just I'm gonna walk behind you, and you can't turn properly to kill me. So I'm just gonna
Not to
stab
mention,
you.
that's a time where third person beats out first, I think, because in first you just see random shit and blood and scratches and then noises, and you can't really tell what's happening necessarily unless you look directly down, look at the feet of the enemy, and sort of move around it that way.
Yeah,
It's, gets a bit awkward.
I felt in Village it was a first-person game and you're running away from things a lot. I felt like the audio cues, like you couldn't get enough information to sort of know what was happening behind you. It was, I don't know, I didn't give it too much thought, but that's just sort of how I felt after playing it. That game would have been great if it had one of those, a button where you turn your head to look behind you. I know some games do that, and it can be useful. So it would have been nice to see him chasing you. You could look back and see him chasing you.
Play Resident Evil 6 with rags, guaranteed hilarity, also high rags.
Maybe.
Yeah,
I
I mean,
wouldn't
I'm
be
not,
against
definitely
it.
not against that. Yeah. Maybe one day. We've got so many things for us to do. One of my favorite games is Too Human. It almost erased from history from a lawsuit, which makes me sad. It's unique, but it was poorly reviewed. Have you heard of it?
I have heard of Too Human. Absolutely, I have.
I have not.
Sounds vaguely familiar. I think it's just Beyond Two Souls. What I'm thinking of. What's the Beyond Human? That's what I'm probably thinking of. Yeah. What do you know about it, Ryan? What is Too Human?
Too Human was, I think it came out it was like in the Xbox 360. I think it was an Xbox 360 game. And it was like an action RPG. And there was, I forget who made it, but I just remember it being a very oddly reviewed game, and it had interesting stuff in it. And you could customize your character in different ways, and you could find all kinds of different items to use. And it was just very interesting. It wasn't like, it didn't have cyberpunk vibes, but it had like a magic, it was weird. It was like a magic mecha punk sort of look to it with but it was always one of those games I never played it, but it was always on my maybe I'll buy it list.
Mm-hmm.
And I never ended up buying it, so I wonder if it ended up actually kind of being pretty good. I'm not sure. Huh.
Well, I'll be. One of my favorite games is. Oh wait, hi again. What would you say is the worst problem in Avatar: The Last Airbender? Why would you? Why would you tempt fate?
I can't tell you because I never rewatched it.
The worst is probably the end. The ending in that show sucks, and as far as I'm aware, it's not very controversial to say so. So there you go. But it's not. I'm not saying that to escape potential hot take territory. It's genuinely a really disappointing ending, and I remember when I was watching it, I was like, "This can't be real. This can't be how it ends." And part of what annoyed me so much was, and I brought it up when I was criticizing. I'll bring it up again. That the intro of the show for all of the episodes is going to lead you to that finale. Like, they keep mentioning what this whole show is about in that intro every episode. You finally get there. And it's like, laugh my ass off. He just wins. You're like, oh. Well, that was satisfying. And from what I gather, not many people defend it. So that's a plus in terms of some equal footing, some camaraderie there, right? A pain shared. As a follow-up to the super chat about TLA, what were some of your favorite things about it? Mine was character, music, and voice acting. Also, hi Ragu.
Hey there.
It would be, yeah, it would be Iroh, I think. I liked him. He was a cool dude. If I were to be able to remake the show entirely, there's a good chance I would keep him just the way he is. Obviously, there would be tweaks. I'd probably have him in it more, to be honest with you. But yeah, I think that's probably a relatively accepted take too. I think a lot of people like Iroh. Iroh's a cool bro, and I would totally drink his tea.
Whoa.
That's not a euphemism, you
Wouldn't
weirdo.
appreciate that. No, like, you wouldn't just drink his tea. It's fucked up.
No, he'd be cool with it. I'm pretty
Nah.
sure he'd be cool with it.
You just assume that, like, that's true. I don't believe it.
At Rags deserves all the shade after all. He likes it where the sun don't shine.
Oh my,
my
goodness.
goodness.
I enjoy. Well, the sun shines
like
all
the-
over me.
Yeah,
My
well,
eyes, because I have sunglasses.
yeah, maybe that's what they're referring to. There are
Maybe,
parts
it
of your
must be.
body, in a sense, that the sun doesn't quite reach.
Yeah,
you know?
like they're sort of in shadow for the most part. Yeah, that's yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
But is Rags a snow white supremacist? Maybe. He was mentioning purity a lot, you know, and that does make you wonder.
Racisms.
Racis.
Drink his tea is
Racisms.
British for a golden shower, right? Yeah, I think so. It's just pretending like it isn't. I do not believe you, sir.
EFAP 93 is the best. Get it right, scrubs. Hi, Rags.
Hello.
I mean, I don't know if there's been a poll of like what is the greatest EFAP episode of all time, but I'm pretty sure 93 is going to score high. That's what I
93
understand.
often rises to the top.
It's
LJD.
it's some concentrated EFAP that episode. It's all of us baffled as we respond to a video. Just classic, you know. Speaking of top-down adventure games, would y'all consider playing Diablo 2 remastered as a group?
I don't know. I've never played Diablo before, but that's not necessarily an issue. I don't know. Maybe
I'm
it's
also
is
in
it
the
too?
don't know department.
Yeah, I'm in a don't know state on that one. Yeah, not sure.
Mel, you know all about Diablo.
Slashy devils.
Flashy Devils. So yeah, from that, it's a hard maybe.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna play it in general. I would be convincible to play it though, because I like Diablo, but I didn't plan to play it as of now. But we'll see. I know Monk is definitely gonna play it. I'm pretty sure he's gonna play that bad boy.
How would you recommend someone get into doing YouTube as a career if they already have a normal job? Love what you do. Keep those standards consistent. Absolutely, mate.
Yeah.
Man. So first and foremost, this might sound disheartening. I wouldn't recommend YouTube as a career. It's, it is a tough boy. It can be really hard mentally, and it's a very fickle mistress. This is something that a lot of YouTubers that you probably follow struggle with quite a bit, where they're like, yay, my video talking about X did really well. I love YouTube, this is awesome. And then the next 3 videos do like a fraction, and then they're like, what the fuck? I don't get it. Why is this happening to me? My life. And it's like, oh no.
Yeah.
It's,
Don't expect anything. That's
Pretty
probably
much.
a good start.
YouTube is a bit of a bitch. Not to mention, like, we're not even just talking about viewers being interested. I'm talking about, like, YouTube being a dick, where it just, like, doesn't show your subscribers your videos, doesn't put videos in recommended because it doesn't like you today, or
Yeah.
you've said something to
Oh, just-
anger the YouTube
Just look
gods.
at my first John Wick video I put out. Some fucking Randy just nuked it away. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, cool. That's great.
However, if someone was very serious about starting it up, and I was going to try and help them out, I guess it would just be, you gotta be really sure of what you're going to be trying to do, and hopefully it's a gap in the market to some degree. You're going to do something better than other people do it, something that's not been done. You're going to do something faster. You're going to do something with a perspective that you don't really see. You know, that's a good place to start. I suppose, like, more specific is going to just have to be about, like, what kind of YouTube you want it to be, right? Because there's so many different options. Could even want to be a streamer, who knows? Perhaps both.
The fuck is this boss?
But, yeah, I don't know. It's kind of hard to give strong advice on that one when it's so hard to even crack whatever YouTube's mysterious sort of requirements are. And I imagine that's only going to get worse as time goes on, rather than better. Though, of course, just don't go too nuts with putting the eggs in the basket sort of thing. Just try it as a hobby, see if it kicks off, that sort of stuff. Always have it as a potential.
Yeah.
Hopefully that's something. I'll be flying to Cali to see my girlfriend after she joined the Navy and had to leave for about 9 months, flying first class. I'm really excited. I could imagine how exciting that would be. Hope you guys have lots of fun.
Cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, I wasn't talking about that, Mel. They could
What
play
I
some
am
chess. They could have
cool.
a drink of coffee together.
Play
You don't
chess
need to-
and then
oh my
cool.
goodness. Oi, Morley, watch Vinland Saga, please. The main character is from Wales. Oh.
He speaks your language. That means you can connect with him better.
Yeah.
God, this
Also
boss
graduating
always
from college this week. Slave to corporate life, I go.
Yay!
I mean, work where you work.
Congratulations. 9 months. Best time to pop out a kid. What in the world do you mean? No, he's flying to see her. Maybe she had a kid in that time. Who knows?
Oh boy.
Maybe.
Been watching Game of Thrones the first time. Finished the Battle for Castle Black. Favorite episode so far. Hoping for a Game of Thrones EFAP season at some point. I'm not sure. There could be further Game of Thrones stuff at some point, especially with the prequel TV show they're making. No guarantees on that one. However, what I will say is, my default for like favorite episode is usually the Red Wedding, but after seeing,
Is this
I
boss
think it might have been episode 6 of the latest season, Wolf and I watched The Watchers on the Wall, which is the episode I think you're referencing. And we were like, holy fuck, Watchers on the Wall might actually be the best episode. And what's cool is good old Glidus, who's been on EFAP Gaming a couple times, he made a review of every single episode all in one video. And he categorized them all from, 1 to 200 and whatever, well, however many there are. And his number 1 was The Watchers on the Wall. He thinks that's the best episode. It's like, yeah, man, so it's a real good one. Unfortunately, if you've just seen that, you realize you just passed the peak of Game of Thrones. It's all downhill from there.
Oh boy.
So have fun with that.
Here's my Captain Marvel 2 pitch. She travels back in time, dies to an alien called Marvel, who visits Earth for the first during a trying time during the snap. He learns about humans, their problems, yada yada, and then kills the cheese lady again. Well, there you go. That's your pitch.
So, just checking my YouTube email.
Oh no.
Takato Komori, from, it doesn't matter from where. Hi Rags. We are planning June for a large meal kit subscription service to partner with select influencers and sponsor a space 90-second mention in a video. Typical scope: sponsor one 90-second integration in a YouTube video. Would you have an interest in being considered for the plan? If so, please complete this form, hyperlink, to apply for the campaign. If you have worked with us previously and would like to be considered again moving forward, please fill out the form so we have the most updated information. We are meeting with a client on Wednesday for our recommendation, so please let me know as soon as you can. There are currently a handful of slots open for each month on this plan. If you aren't selected for the June plan, you'll be kept on file for future months. If you're not interested in this opportunity, you can opt out, hyperlink. This is from Takato Komori Blue Polo Interactive. And then there's a link to Blue Polo Interactive. So I was like, meal kit? What do you mean? I don't know what I'm supposed to be advertising in all of this. There's no link to it. There's no name of what the meal kit subscription service is. There's no description of what it is. There's nothing for me to Google. I have absolutely no idea, because I was like, what is this? Because I've never heard of any of this. And then I was like, oh, I don't even know how to find out what this is for. And the only links are to the complete the form survey to apply for the campaign and the Blue Polo Interactive digital management and a full service digital marketing team. And you're not even telling me what I'm supposed to be advertising. How shit is your company?
Right. Most people don't even these days. They probably don't even need to specify that because people will just be like, "Yes, how much?"
Oh yeah, they'll do it. Yeah, of course. What is the opt-out hyperlink? Unsubscribed. I didn't know I was subscribed. I guess they sent me a link and it makes sure I'm subscribed. Okay.
I
kind of want to fuck with them. I'm gonna
like, what do you sell?
reply.
They're like, why?
Yeah, I'm gonna be like, what am I saying? I gotta get, what is Blue Polo Interactive? I gotta get their tagline, which is, we are a full service digital marketing team. Let me copy and paste that.
Meal kit. So many things that could be.
Yeah, it's a large meal kit subscription service, and that's it. I don't know what that is.
I heard
Sounds like it could be useful, you know.
Want food.
I think it'll help you with that, Metal. It's like in the name. It's gonna help you make your meal.
You sending me food? Yeah, I'm in.
It helps you make your meal. You're like, how's that work? Tell me your magic, wizard.
Your food magic. Okay, I'll just maybe just be a scam. Like, click the link and give us your information. Wink, wink.
We'll give you a meal kit. You're like, what is that? It's like, it's a meal kit.
Chimkin? I'm in.
You humans like meal kits.
Humans. Oh, great, lockdown. What a.
Because some of these emails you get are really good, and they'll say, hi, and they're like, you can clearly tell they're personalized to you, because this was just a mass email they sent out, because their company shit, and that's just what they do. And so they're like, hey, this is what we think would go good for the channel, and sometimes it actually is something. I get a lot of dog stuff, by the way, like dog products and services and things and pet stuff.
Neat.
But they're like, here's what we want you to advertise. Here's a link to it. Here's a place where you could learn about it. If you have any questions, let me know about it. Also, let me know if you want us to send you one, and we'll shoot one over to you. That's way better.
It makes sense, yeah.
Yeah, but this is just I don't even know.
It's a meal kid. They promote eating children. Oh.
Oh my god.
Good God. Think of the children.
Oh, but yeah, just in general, enjoy Game of Thrones, I guess, and maybe we'll have coverage on it eventually, one day, someday. Who knows? What's your opinion on all 3 Hellboy movies? Hellboy 2 is my favorite, but I also like the other 2. Yes, even the new one. I remember liking the first 2 a whole bunch, but I've not seen them in so long now that I don't know for sure if they're super awesome still.
Same. I remember watching them a long time ago, but I
have
almost no memory of it.
I have watched, I think, 3 people review the new Hellboy. I don't want to see it. Oh boy, that looks terrible.
Hey there, these
All right,
meal kits include Mountain Dew marinated canned chicken.
It never goes bad. It's a crime against nature. I went to because I'm looking for some information on what I'm supposed, like how they would even expect me to find out. I did their little complete the form thing. I didn't fill it out. I went to it to look through the questions. And one of the questions at the end is, have you recently applied to work with Green Chef or Hello Fresh?
Oh. Okay.
And Green Chef is a specialty meal plan, I guess. And Hello Fresh is a meal kit company based in Berlin, Germany.
Yeah, I know those.
Yeah.
There was a time when you got like a voucher or something when you ordered something from Amazon. It's like, oh, you want to check out the fresh tisms? I was like, no.
Which I'm not against in principle. I'm like, if someone came to me and said, like, this is a meal kit service, which is something I could totally see people doing, and it sounds like it could be useful, especially the ones where they just send you all the ingredients and you make it yourself. Like, that sounds like something that could be really appealing to a lot of people.
Oh yeah, they're pretty popular as far as I know.
Yeah, and that could be something that I would advertise in a video if they sent me one or two and they said, this is just what typically comes in, they come this often, here's what the price is, and I would actually get it and make it, and then I would include what I made in the actual, I could take a picture, this is how I made it, and that's duh. But I don't know what I'm even working with here.
Yeah.
Someone said in chat, didn't Shad do a meal kit and get a really good steak? Maybe,
I can believe it.
Yes.
you can make a really good steak out of a not really good steak, if that makes sense.
Oh yeah.
Steak isn't necessarily expensive. It doesn't have to be.
You kind of know what you're doing. You can make some.
Absolutely. You
Some-
can make
something good out
great
of it.
stuff with super cheap food.
Oh yeah.
You guys remember loot crates? Remember them?
Yeah, I do.
They're still
I
think.
What was the RLM one? Nerd Box or something?
Didn't they like? They eventually had like a coffin service as something. You could like order a coffin for your loved ones. So, I don't know, but yeah, like I can't remember if it was Loot Crate itself, but a lot of the franchise Loot Crate things like died off. I'm assuming there's still some around, but I guess they weren't that viable, or at least they're not as viable now as they were. Weird. Do you remember? Because like loads of your favorite YouTubers would start doing this thing where halfway through the video they'd be like, "All right, I'm gonna open my loot box. Here's a T-shirt with Rick and Morty on it. Yeah. Here's a."
I think Loot Crate just got worse and worse because no one was really buying them anymore. So they put a lot of excess
Yeah,
stuff
cheaper
they
and cheaper.
still had around in new boxes.
Let me look up Loot Crate and see how it's doing. It was established in 2012.
Damn, so long ago.
Let me.
Wow, yeah. I suppose that makes sense.
Because
Yeah.
there's got to be people who review the Loot Crate and everything that comes in it every month or whatever.
I think Ashen said
So-
it to some degree, but at some point it's like, this is poo-poo.
Oh, the company announced that it was filing for bankruptcy
Ah.
protection on August 2019, laying off close to half its remaining workers in the weeks prior.
Damn.
There's a Wikipedia for it. Let me look
Correct.
here. Let's see. The company owed more than 30 million in debt. 30 million in debt and 6 million in taxes, while its credit and card processor had withheld payments to the company.
Dude, what the hell? Did they end up in jail?
So while under Chapter 11 bankruptcy, it plans to continue to fulfill orders but seeks potential buyers. On October 1st, 2019, subscribers were informed by email of Loot Crate's sale to Money Chest LLC, majority funded by NECA. The company will operate under a new name, The Loot Company, and the NECA is the National Entertainment Collectibles Association.
Well, so ends the journey of Loot Crate, or continues, I guess. I don't know.
Okay, someone said, "Oh no, Rag's looking to get in on Tonald's cooking vids." I would unironically love that. If maybe one day in the future, when I get the channel back up and everything like that, and Tonald's doing his thing, and he probably is going to get just more and more comfortable doing it over time as he gets used to that format he's doing. Oh, that would be a dream come true if I could go. I'd fucking pay for the ticket and everything. I'd drive. I don't care. Go to his house, and that's the it's him. Because I don't know like anything. Him and I are opposites on the spectrum in terms of culinary ability. I can like fry eggs and grill chicken, and like I'm the most layman average cooker possible, and he's like Gordon Ramsay's long lost son, clearly. And having him describe to me and me ask like every step of the way what the words he's using mean and how to do things, I would love that. That would be amazing. I would adore that so much.
Uncle Tone.
It's one of my little, in the future, that would be just so fucking great. But yeah, that's, you say that as a joke, but like actually yes, I would love to be instructed on how to cook just a meal from Tonald and learn other thing. Here's how you move your wrist when you whisk the eggs, and here's how you make sure you don't want to heat it up too quickly, because then you'll do this, and you don't want to burn the outside. You want to keep it but you want to let it, all the little tips, tricks, and things like that. So
Yeah.
next time you go to a restaurant like a Waffle House or a breakfast place, order eggs. And then when you get them, wait a while, and when the server comes back to check on you, says, "How's everything turning out? Is everything all right?" Just stop and look at him and say, "So I mean, the things are all right. I just want to let you know, these eggs, they taste like chicken." and maybe they'll say like, "Oh, should we get you some new ones? We can remake them for you," because they probably don't know how to they don't know how to react to that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, it's fine. Just let the chef know. If you could just tell him, because I don't know if anyone's ever brought it up before. I just wanted to let you know, but we're fine. We're fine.
You sure you don't want them replaced? And you're like, no.
You sure you don't want new ones? And you're like, no, these are fine. They're fine. I just want to let you know. I don't know if anyone has ever mentioned it before. I just feel like you should be aware. Lord Rags and his dad jokes.
I think people really want EFAP without rags for no reason, but hate to recognize that without rags, there would be no EFAP. Very strange. I wonder where all this hate would be directed without rags. Well, if rags wasn't here, it's kind of hard to imagine what would exist. It would be whoever ends up being the most consistently on here, other than me, probably. Like, let's say if rags were gone and Fringy were here, and that was it, I think Fringy would probably get a few threads made on him eventually.
Threads?
Fringy's so aggressive.
He's
so mean.
He's so green.
Yeah.
It's like, whoa.
Sign up for adult-themed lubricate.
Lubricate?
Lubricate?
Yeah.
I like that. Lubricate.
That's a funny name.
There's
I
an
like that.
audience for it. There's an audience.
There's a sex theme one as well. Master Crate.
Yes.
Fucking better.
And a bunch of kids are like, is that to do with like Zelda?
It's
To
a-
mash the sword? And
Sure.
like,
Ask your parents about it.
Timmy, no. Stop right there. Just wanted to recommend the game Gunfire Reborn again. Fair enough.
Rags is Crow. I am Crow. Crow has always been my favorite. I've always preferred. Crow has always been my favorite. Absolutely. Tom and Joel are great, but I've always had a soft spot in my heart for Crow.
All crows are bastards.
Yes.
Oh no.
You think we'll see Shelob in the Lord of the Rings TV show? Dude, all bets are off.
Ooh.
That Lord of the Rings TV show? Oh, can you think Rags the day that the first episode comes out and we're like, well, we gonna watch it? We're like, oh boy.
Here we go.
Is it worth seeing the movies again? It's like, probably not.
It's always worth watching the
Well,
movies.
I mean, it's always worth, I mean in relation
always
to
worth seeing
them,
understanding
yeah.
the show, you know what I mean?
yeah, I
Like,
know what you mean.
Yeah, I feel like we'll know ahead of time. They'll probably say you don't have to have seen the originals or something like that, or this is its own thing, and they'll probably have callbacks and references because that's what Hollywood is now. But we'll see. I don't know. I really don't know.
Subvert you. They'll have a dragon that's actually a girl. You're like,
The girl will be the
what?
hero,
Girl dragon?
and she'll be better than everyone.
No. Can't be having that. Will you be covering Loki in the same way as the other Disney Plus series? Or do you think the MCU's grave is deep enough already? Also, hi, Rags.
Hi. That grave can always get deeper.
So, here's a fun tidbit. If you look at one of the early Bloodborne streams, where Jay, myself, Rags and I think Fringy are talking about WandaVision. I think someone says like, "Oh, you guys can do DFAP on it," and I'm like, "No, WandaVision is such a chill and sort of, you know, like episodic show that just has not a huge amount to say about it. We're not going to be doing EFAP. We'll probably mention it, like, oh, that show was kind of neat. You know, check it out if you want to. Blah blah blah." We ended up seeing the whole thing. We were like, "Holy fuck, we're getting an EFAP for this. This is insane. Like, I don't even know how it's this bad." Fast forward to Falcon the Winter Soldier. I think we saw 3 episodes. And we were like, "Yeah, not going to do an EFAP on this." It's
Yeah.
it's very meh to bad. It's not much as blah, blah, blah. And I think once episode 4 had finished, we were like, "Okay, getting a little bit pissed off now." I think we were pissed off already,
Seriously,
actually,
yeah,
but
'cause-
still.
Yeah, episode 4 was what kind of flipped us into. We might do. Oh, are we gonna make a EFAP about this? Are we gonna? It's like it was seriously became a consideration of ours.
Yep, and then by the time the whole season was there, it was like, yeah, definitely doing an EFAP on this. So, with Loki, if the first episode is a really goofy little romp adventure through time, and Loki's cracking some jokes, has a fight scene, everything's really chill, be like, no EFAP for this. And if the last 2 episodes of the series, it's like, they destroy everything to do with every film that's ever happened ever, we're like, yep, probably going to do an EFAP. It's just about what the content ends up being, basically. We shall see. If you remember, it's funny, someone shared this on the subreddit. I think I might be able to play it in the meme fap, I'm not sure, but there is. Do you remember recording the Cosmoronic podcast with Fringy?
I do.
Rags?
A long
He asked
time
you,
ago.
or at least it was brought up about the Falcon Winter Soldier show, and you both agree you're looking forward to that because you can't wait to see what they do with the characters.
Oh no.
Yeah. Oh, great.
Big
That's
sad.
sad. Oh well. Morley, you should do a gaming series on Nier Replicant and Automata.
Wait, what about those
Oh.
games?
Mel told me they're terrible games.
That's
so,
not true.
you know, it's like
Also,
I trust
will
Mel.
be
You know,
right back.
No
Alright.
worries.
like Mel just complains day after day about how
Yes.
torturous those games were. So I was like, oof, I'm going to avoid them. Play Automata is a damn masterpiece. Metal, is this true?
Masterpiece, Automata? I don't know. I really don't remember. I haven't played it in so long.
See, told you Mel hated it.
But I'm always careful to call things a masterpiece these days. So I don't know.
Oh yeah, is Saving Private Ryan a masterpiece?
More than Automata, I'm pretty sure.
Is Hot Fuzz a masterpiece?
Yes.
Ah, there you go. We got one, lads. We're God of War 2018.
It's my favorite game, but I don't think it's. I don't know if I would call it a masterpiece. Not sure.
Fair enough. I mean, I have that with lots of stuff. I love this thing, but masterpiece, oof. You kind of want to. What's funny is a lot of people try to run with the definition of masterpiece, meaning like the best work of that creator or something, and I feel like that is way too diluted. It's like, we usually say masterpiece for like the best of the best.
Yeah, like
That's how
9 out
we
of
use
10
it.
stuff.
9+. Bum, 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 bum. Though the way Muller pronounces automata makes me want to drive a railroad spike through my temple. What is it? Automata? Automata?
Automata? I don't know.
Have some patience for the Welshman. He doesn't know about your crazy anime words.
I regret picking this item up. This is actually really weird.
Dude, I hate that in Binding of Isaac when I pick something up and I'm like, this is okay, kind of neat. And then like 2 rooms later, I'm like, okay, so this is really bad actually.
Yeah.
I kind of don't want to have it anymore.
I have a directed shot, so there's basically like an X on the floor that I can move around, and that's where my tears go. But it shoots constantly, and it stays where I put it. I don't know. It's.
Oh, I know what that is. You could, yeah, you like, it's like your tears become a blob that you can move around.
No,
right?
that would be the cool one. It's just
Oh,
a
okay.
direct. I just have a marker on the floor that's connected to me, and that's where the tears fly from my face.
Oh
to.
yeah, that one's annoying.
Yeah.
Cause yeah.
I picked it up. I didn't know what it was, so I would have picked it up anyways. But I also couldn't see what it was because it's. I have Curse of the Blind in this, so.
I hate it when they make your health invisible or they put a question mark on it. It's like, hey,
Hey.
I need to know that shit.
They released a clip from the Loki show yesterday that says the MCU is one definitive timeline. Well, okay.
All right then.
I mean, yeah. I usually would call something a masterpiece if it has a little to no flaws, generally in the sense that nearly every little detail is accounted for. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I think that's like I would call T2 a masterpiece probably, even though there's plenty of flaws in that movie. But my God, is it damn good?
Mm-hmm.
Bum, 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 bum. Hello, Mola. Loved your content since Amnesia vs. Soma Dissection, which I watch once per year.
Nifty.
I'm glad you enjoy it, and I'm glad it has repeat viewing value. I know you like Dark Souls. Did you play Sekiro? And if you did, what did you think about it? Also, hello, Rags. I don't think he's back yet. I booted it up. It didn't work, and I was so ready to play through it for. This is so funny how, like, in a consequentialist sense, how things work. It's like, sorry, a deterministic sense how things work. So. It didn't work properly, and it was as simple as deactivating like some program that was running. I found it in a Reddit thread. It was like, oh, if you have this, it could be doing it. And then I did that, and it worked perfectly. And so I spent like 2 hours trying to fix it that night, and it didn't work. I tried so many things, and then like a week later, I tried that one thing that did work, and I was like, oh, sweet, it works now. I guess I'll get around to playing it at some point. And then I never did. And it sucks because if that problem hadn't been there, I probably would have completed that game by now. And I probably would have had loads of stuff to say on it, but it's so weird. It's like I need to drive myself to play it at this point. There's nothing wrong with it, because I played it for like 5 seconds, so.
Just as
By the way,
yes.
this applies to not just you, Mel, but everyone in chat, everyone ever. They probably already know this. Do not watch YMS play any of the Soulsborne series. You will want to kill yourself. The thing, if you watch me play Sekiro, it's probably going to be really fun. Because I'll fail all over the place and, you know, try and get better at it until I successfully, like, kill a monster. I'll be like, yeah. YMS, I try to watch him play some Soulsborne games. Oh my God. Don't do it. I love you, Adam, but, oh. It's funny because we're not even, like, hardcore Dark Souls fans, but Jesus. Feels bad, man. That's my summary, okay? What were you going to say?
I think I was about to read something on chat. Hang on. Hey guys, just watched Blind. It's incredible. Nice. Is Drinker still wrong about it? Oh, the shade.
Well, that would be another thing I would rate a masterpiece. Blind Manor. It's fucking phenomenal as a show.
Yeah.
Is Drinker wrong about it? Well, you know what? Maybe one day, if I make a series of videos on it and he checks them out, maybe I will change his mind. Who knows?
Yeah. Judeski, thanks for the resub. Waiting for Metal to get stupidly OP and yet still die. I can do that. That's easy.
Stupidly European and then die?
OP. Happy.
Well, I would like you to get stupidly European.
I mean, I'm already stupid and European, so I guess I fulfill all the criteria.
Mola, one of my friends says Wallace and Gromit is bad. Please tell them they are both objectively and morally wrong.
Oh my God.
I've only ever enjoyed Wallace and Gromit. I haven't seen it in a while, though. But Curse of the Were-Rabbit, I think all of us have seen that in some way, shape, or form at some point. Oh, some good stuff.
All these coins, I can't get them because I'm not a fly boy.
Meanwhile, I have 2,000 coins, so get on my level.
Oh man, I'm jealous. I can't even carry that many coins.
If this were RE8, I'd probably have 300,000 coins by now. And you'd be jealous.
Yes.
Personally,
And
I
I
love
died.
Rags' analysis on video games. Response to start of the stream. I think he's very fair with his breakdowns on each element, also high.
Hello.
Rags, you back yet?
No.
I heard him whistling, I thought. Okay.
What Mass Effect is the best world building? I don't know. I haven't played them in forever, so I cannot tell you.
Oh, I hope they're pretty good, because they're all about that space stuff.
Does Metal deserve herpes if he drinks Charlie's hot tub water?
Hello, Mola. New to the community here. Found your channel through your dissection of the Dark Descent versus Soma, which was awesome to experience. Really enjoy the content. Hey.
Nifty.
That is someone else who also really liked that series. I'm glad.
Help.
Metal, look out. They're coming to get you. Hi Mola, hi Rags. Hello. An old illness returned back in June last year. Things have been pretty rough since. Your content, including EFAP, have gone a long way to make even some of the worst days bearable. I just wanted to thank you. Also, hello, Fringy. Yeah, really glad to hear. I hope you're doing all right. And
Yeah, doing fine.
so some of the I was talking to a super chat, but yes, I
Oh.
hope you're all right as well, Rax. There's always like some of the best news we can hear is if you're having a rough time, that EFAP can be a little light in the room, going. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Rags, someone's asking what Mass Effect has the best world building.
The first one, I think. The problem is that I like a lot of the world building stuff in 3, but they fuck it all up at the end. And but I would say probably the first. I think the first one does a really good job at that, setting up a lot of places you could go to, planets you could explore, the citadel, the size of the citadel and how you could move around it. It's the different factions involved and all the different creatures and species. They cover a lot of their bases in terms of locales and different cultures and how they act. And I think Mass Effect 1 did the best in terms of world building.
Oh, there you go.
2 is good. They're all good at it. 2 expanded on it in terms of the first one. But 2 felt a lot more constrained and smaller scale than the second one, or than the first one was, in terms of where you can go and what you can do. It feels a lot more, not railroaded, but a lot more linear, the locations. In Mass Effect 3, there's a lot of stuff I really like. I mean, 2 is good too, like the Tuchanka stuff was great, but in Mass Effect 3, it kind of pushes more forward and opens more stuff up, and we get more of, it's more of Earth. We actually go to Earth. Though we only see it in a certain way as like a war zone, and then at the end of the ending is horrible and it destroys a lot of the world building, I feel. So gotta give it to 1. Gotta give it to 1.
What about Andromeda?
Oh, I fucking forgot that existed. Fuck Andromeda.
I've only heard good things. What the hell?
Syntax, thanks for the 10 Eurotisms. Hi Moodle. Hi, hello, what's up?
Wow, they don't say hi to us.
No, fuck.
Racism.
Yeah, get wrecked.
But yeah, one that came in while you were gone, Rad, was personally, I love Rag's analysis on video games. I think he's very fair with his breakdowns on each element. Also, hi.
Oh, hello, and thank you. I'm glad you like him.
Positive and negative about watching EFAP. My work days fly by super fast, but I also think anything less than 6 hours is just short. Yeah. It's a horrible world you end up getting into. The world of the short. Take up your mother's trident. You know how much she sacrificed?
Sacrificed?
I hope he takes up his mother's trident once again in the future movies.
Does Mass Effect 2 expand at least the species lore more, like Ardard Yakshi, Justicars, and such? I'm just guessing these names, I have no idea how to pronounce them.
Yeah, sure, sounds good to me.
Yeah. There was a question, so does it do that?
Rags.
Yes?
There was a question, there was like a follow-up question for the Mass Effectism. Does Mass Effect 2 expand at least the species lore more? Like Ardard Yakshi or Justicars, whatever it is.
Yeah, because that's a part of the what's that name of the race? The Asari. That's the Asari stuff. Yeah, it does. Those are pretty small aspects of it, though. But I mean, they do. Like it's the second. It benefits from being the second in a series, so it doesn't have to do a lot of the work or effort that the first one did. It can just build on what came before it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they all do a pretty good job, except for Mass Effect 3's ending. But it's, but yeah, there's definitely good stuff in all of them when it comes to world building.
Very well. Oh, balls.
I think you need to do a catch up offline, Mola. We will get through them all eventually. It will happen. You cannot
promise.
stop us. Have you heard of this horror game called World of Horror? The premise is you have to kill an old god by solving 5 random horror mysteries. During the mysteries, you're randomly hit with random horror scenarios. It's an RPG too.
Jesus.
Sounds unique.
Sounds random.
Whoa. You watch it there with your funnies. You hurt someone. Yeah, no, not heard of that. Sounds interesting. Who knows how it goes for execution?
Dude, remember Monster? Was that the name of the game? Where you were fleeing from the monster on the ship? Was it just called Monster or was it something else?
I don't know.
Monstrum.
Monstrum, yeah. You ever gonna play the second one?
Monstrum.
That was always fun to watch.
Monstrum game. I want to say that I've heard of this, but I never played it. Yeah, it came out in 2015.
Yeah, I know Mupshi played
It's
it.
rated pretty
oh, yeah.
positively.
It was
That was
fun.
actually the first video that I had any success with in a significant way. Was I played it in its like initial form. I think it was early access, and I was just having real fun with it. It was super spooky on my stream, and I beat the I guess the main monster or whatever, and I just clipped it, and then I was like, I guess I could call this "How to Beat That Monster," and it was like my first video to go up to like I think 5,000 views, and I was like, oh my god.
Oh,
Oh wow.
I didn't even know
Helping
that you
people
did,
discover how to defeat it.
didn't even know you did that. That you did that.
The thing is, it was neat, but I was like, well, this isn't really going to mean anything for growing a channel, because they're all just like, do you have videos on how to beat the rest? I'm like, no.
No.
Just tell me how to do the thing. Yeah. Tell me how to do the thing. Okay.
And it's like, do you have guides on any other games? I'm like, nope. So this was a one-time. Hope
Yeah.
you had fun.
Jenna just wrote, I missed the
Monstrum.
Monstrum days. Happy ghost.
Monstrum
man.
2 came out January 28th of 2021, and it is much less well received. It's mixed reviews. Yeah, 65%
Well, if you watch the
positive.
trailer, as someone who knew Monstrum, I was lost looking at it. I was like, what is going on? They've changed a lot.
Damn.
mean,
Didn't
read
quite
a
look like what I would
negative
assume a sequel would be.
This game failed hard because the devs rushed it and released an unfinished product too early. Focus on. Okay, yeah. Who knows? But it's not very well received. Pretty middling.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows?
Is it strictly fair to apply Zack Snyder's explanation for the loss of Earth's location, as it is supplemental info not present in the film, as a mark against Steppenwolf's character? So, the interesting thing is, of course, in my video, it wasn't in my video originally. It was because people were actually cycling that as an explanation for the loss of Earth. So I was like, I have to include this because people actually think this is an explanation. The funniest thing about his comment, which is what I made a joke out of and what YMS made a joke out of, is he's told to explain why it was forgotten, and he gives an explanation that amounts to he forgot.
Yeah.
It's like, that's not an explanation. And if someone wants to be like, well, no, because he said everyone else died, so it's just him that forgot. That's a better contrivance, right? It's not that everyone forgot, it's just him. It's like, so he was the main person that wouldn't forget. And
Yeah.
then, of course, you have to try and argue to me, yeah, his whole army, everybody who was present that day died. Like, what are you talking about? And then you simultaneously have it so that the characters in universe talk about this event, like all of them are aware of it. It's like, what is this world you're building? I don't understand. And so you put it all together and it doesn't make any sense. So if someone said like, well, death of the author, you don't even consider it. It's like, it's terrible either way. So yeah, you don't have to consider it, but it's still terrible.
Yes.
The funniest kinds of death of the author, I find. Do you even play RE8 Spider-Man and High Rags and Moot?
Hello.
Hi.
I've heard a lot about RE4, so I finally bought it and I'm playing through it right now. It's a whole lot of fun, especially compared to Village.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
very glad to hear that. Yes, RE4 is a very fun game to play, and you're almost always playing it. There's very few cutscenes and places where you don't have control. There's a lot of
Totally
great
game.
areas to play. Yeah, like you kill like 3 times the amount of enemies in 4. I think it's a longer game. Maybe it feels that way.
Yeah, we had it, I think, free checked, right? You said it was a 20-hour average completion and 10 for Village.
Yeah, Village is
Sounds right.
definitely quicker, but yeah, RE4 it's a lot more gamey and in a good way. You're constantly playing, and you instantly see from the the get go how you can do better and better in subsequent playthroughs, and you want to encourage yourself to do that.
Yeah.
I just remember being
It
so
is the
engaged by
blueprint.
it when I first played it. I was really happy. Just like,
Oh,
this
yeah.
is the fucking game.
Mortal, I saw this
Village
indie
was like,
horror-
I hope something cool happens, and then in Resident Evil 4, I was like, but I'm doing the cool thing. That is like, I'm already doing it.
Yeah.
I'm not waiting, you know.
Mortal, I saw this indie horror game on Steam you might like. It's called DS2 and it's made by some studio called From Software. Ah, you made me go back for that
Oh,
comment in my chat.
That game's too scary.
Yeah. Was Monstrum the one where mutually yeeted into the death in order to not being catched by spooky monster? That sounds about right.
Yeah, he's chasing me on the ship, and I think you see me like look left, right, back, and I'm just like, I have no choice, I have to jump. But then I just broke my own legs and died, and I was like, it's better than him catching me.
One difference that might illustrate sort of almost design philosophy between 4 and Village is in 4, when you are in the village section for the first time and you're fending off enemies, you take the shotgun off the wall and then a chainsaw guy spot. Well, technically, you don't take the you don't take the shotgun off the wall and then he comes. If you go into that room or go into that building to hunker down, there is a small cutscene where villagers swarm the building and you can hear a chainsaw in the distance and he's coming. So they go hand in hand. But he is just among the enemies.
Fuck.
The game plays as normal, except now one of the enemies is the chainsaw guy. Whereas if this was in RE8 in Village, the chainsaw guy would be like his own boss, and you would fight him in a broom closet, and it would be shitty. And it just shows just that's what it would be in the new game.
No, whatever. Oh no.
Mass Effect wise, would you get the Legendary Edition? I think not redoing the ending is a huge missed opportunity for the corpse that is BioWare.
I agree. I think BioWare right now needs all of the goodwill and positive publicity that they need. And nobody likes the Mass Effect 3 ending. Nobody. And if they say they did, they lied. It's a terrible ending.
They were
I'm all for the
paid.
preservation of video games, but I feel in this case, because it was so horrifically bad and no one liked it, and you're not really erasing the original at all, you might have taken this case to right what was very clearly a wrong.
And hell, you know, the old version still exists, so
Yeah, absolutely.
if they really want to play it.
Jim Sterling's apparently reing because he dropped down under 900k subs. Oh, that was like the YouTube yeet thingy again.
Wait, sorry, who's reading?
Jim Sterling.
Oh.
Yeah. I can have you bring this to attention. Copied from the YouTube comment sections by Lur Baranda. Rex, I'm
Seems
watching
titled,
behind
by
the...
the way.
Huh? Oh, okay.
Yeah, you go ahead, yeah.
Yeah. Rex, I'm watching behind the stream. I'm the guy that made the quote-unquote snarky comment about the headshot. I felt that the criticisms for the amount of bullets it take to kill are misdirected. The problem is that the shots barely flinch the enemies, not the amount of bullets, since RE4 takes a similar amount to kill and you don't feel the gun's anemic.
So with
Anemic,
Resident Evil 4...
Anemic, sorry.
So the guns don't feel anemic in Resident Evil 4. They're quite useful, and they're pretty darn good at what they do. And the enemies... I don't think a basic enemy is going to take 6 headshots to kill from a pistol. I think that'll pretty much always do the case. Like, I can't imagine that being... I can't imagine a Ganados taking 6 headshots and still being alive. I just don't think that would happen. But you have...
Contextually, are we talking normal or professional? I'm assuming, because I don't know. Oh, okay.
Any, yeah. I don't think a Ganados will ever take more than 6 headshots. Like, maybe an unupgraded TMP, but a TMP isn't about doing damage per bullet. It's either about DPS or about, you know, just being able to stagger and flinch enemies and get them into kicking animations.
Even if they, like, if every time you shot the Wolfman person in the game, they fell over, but they take 20 shots to kill, I still feel like the guns are going to feel wonky as hell.
Yeah, and there's not a lot you can, like, so if you, there's a lot more you can do with enemies in terms of how you interact with them in Resident Evil 4. So, sure, you shoot them once in the head, and then you could roundhouse kick them, or you can suplex them, and then you could knife them while they're on the ground, or you can take advantage of their further weakness by shooting them in the head while they're down.
Mhm.
But yeah, it definitely isn't in the same capacity. Resident Evil 4 enemies are not tanky. They're slightly spongy, but you have a lot of things that you can do, and you can take them out pretty well.
Yeah. Have any of you read World War by Harry Turtledove?
Nope.
No.
No. Nor do I recognize that. I don't know what that is.
No, I don't either.
Ooh, dude rammed a car into me. He's gonna win the race because of it. That's cheating.
That's not cool.
That's just being a bad sport.
Yeah. Why did Kato throw his lightsaber in the ocean in Tross? He turned good, but surely he can use this very powerful weapon to fight the bad guys now? No, it's an evil
'Cause
weapon,
themes.
you see. It's an evil weapon. You can't be doing that. So dumb. It's like it's not helping the angle that red means evil. Like, it's like, It's just a color. It's not supposed to mean that... Wouldn't it be cooler? Because there's like, oh, they gotta have him fight with the blue lightsaber, you know? It's gotta be how they do it. It's like, why couldn't it have been the red one fighting for good? Why wouldn't that work? Oh. Tossing that fucking lightsaber, man. Somebody went out there and swam for it when they found out, you know? Like, gotta find this thing. It's probably worth so much money. Or they could just use it to slice things. Like slicing bread and it instantly cooks to toast.
Fuck yeah.
You know, genius.
Good old toast.
Rag, should I
Jesus
play
juice.
RE4 with mouse or controller?
I mean, it probably won't make a huge difference. I play with mouse and keyboard. I like it more, but that's a game that you could play fine with a controller. I've played it. The GameCube was on controller, Xbox was on controller, Wii was on sort of controller, so you can definitely make it work.
Give it a go with each, right? Like,
Yeah,
see,
enjoy
Let's try it
each.
out.
see what you think. See what feels right to you. Oh no. Hi, Rags. Any second.
Huh?
Hi, Rags.
Oh, hi.
Yo, Massives, did you see the part you are mentioned in Turkey Tom's video on Quentin reviews? He missed some smaller details, but still solid.
Yeah, I did see that part. Wasn't that bad. Wish he elaborated more, I guess, but yeah, not bad. It wasn't bad, that part.
You're gonna chronicle Quentin's biggest failures. I'm honestly like kind of surprised we would actually be mentioned because he's done some really stupid shit. But if you're gonna mention it, why wouldn't you mention the fact that he manipulated the video like himself? You know what I mean? It's like
I feel like I was expecting more to happen. Like, we clearly were the victims of that, and Quentin was the bad, but it could have really benefited from some elaboration as to what actually happened.
And all you have to do is listen to the part where we say it and just play that. So, but you know, yeah, I doubt it'll do anything. That video, Quentin is he's a bit of a. If you watch the portions that go over like the stuff with the bread to people, I don't know how anyone could come away from it not thinking like feeling kind of bad for Quentin in a sense. I know the conclusion is he's a complete asshole, but like he all but admits he can't make friends properly. And it's like, that must suck.
Kind of come across as a bitter, vindictive, bad person, though. So maybe that has something to do with it.
Oh well,
Maybe
he'll
check yourself.
he'll just tweet out randomly like, you know, oh, it sucks that, you know, I got unfriended by a whole bunch of people from my perspective that now everybody kind of has. And it's just like, you remember reality in ways that other people do not.
Someone said, someone's asking, and this is a good question. I don't think we even talked about it. Does Resident Evil Village have limb-based effects when you shoot them?
When you say that, do you mean like...
Like, if you shoot the head, it does this. If you shoot the legs, it does this. If you shoot the arms, it does this.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Because I'm thinking, like, did I ever even try to shoot them in the legs just to see what would happen?
I didn't. I was just, just shoot them in the head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas in Resident Evil 4, because I gotta talk about it all the fucking time, the head and the legs are the big ones.
Yeah.
You want to shoot him in the head to stagger him back, if you in the legs, because the legs will have two different effects. If they're running towards you and you shoot them in the legs, they face plant instantly, which is very useful because you can now do whatever you want to them, and their head's facing you if you want to shoot them instead of knife them. And while they're standing still and you shoot them in the legs, they'll go to the knees, which means you can either kick them back or you can give them the old suplex.
Oh, while we're talking about this, do you guys remember Turok Seeds of Evil? Turok 2 specifically?
I've heard of it, but I've never played it.
N64 game. I played that way back.
I only ever played Turok on GameCube.
GameCube? There was a GameCube version?
Yeah.
Oh wow, I didn't even know that. The reason I mentioned this, I recently replayed it randomly, and I noticed this game from the N64 era has those effects. If you shoot them in the arm, they go like and they flinch their arm back. Or when you shoot them in the head, something different happens. I was very surprised and really impressed. Like I didn't even know they did this back then. It was really cool. Because it's so old, man. It was pretty neat to see.
It's a book series about aliens trying to colonize Earth, thinking that humans still use calorie and nights, but they arrived during World War II. Interesting.
That's weird that the aliens would think that.
I was gonna say I'm curious how that would all go down. Hopefully, it's like in a way that's not poo-poo, but you know, yeah, in a good way. Also, that one that had the Mother's Trident thing, it ended earlier with for some retarded reason YouTube won't let me super chat take up your mother's trident, probably because of gay. So because obviously I'm bouncing between super chats and Streamlabs. So it's like, if ever you wanted to tell us to take up our mother's trident, apparently super chats don't let you.
Take up your mother's trident.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's because mothers.
I guess
As weird as that sounds.
Yeah, like if anyone's using that, it's probably for an insult. So
yeah,
just block it.
Does
we
Rex
have to
think
defend their mother.
Does Rex think the new Mass Effect will be more likely be trash, or is there actually a chance of it being good?
I mean, it sounds like it's just going to be the old games with a really bad port.
Oh, unless is there a new one than that, or is that what they're talking about?
Oh, no, the
new
yeah,
Mass Effect,
yeah, I don't see why the new one would be good. BioWare's not a good company.
Oh, that's a shame.
They're just like they haven't. When was the last good thing they made?
Yes,
like
Tetris.
it was. Some
Tetris.
people might say Dragon Age Inquisition. A lot of people seem to be really lukewarm about it. But like lukewarm, just I mean, BioWare's just not good anymore. I don't think they can make good games. Now, like remember, I forgot in that sentence that Anthem existed. But
Yep.
Mass Effect Andromeda, Anthem, all that stuff, just no. I don't think it's gonna be good. I don't think it will be good. It's gonna be dumb. It's gonna have shitty characters, and the combat's gonna be maybe okay, potentially. Probably not.
Gotta hope.
Yeah, maybe it'll be good. Maybe against all reason, it'll just be good.
An 11-hour podcast hating on women for having opinion is the lowest of the low. You need to touch some grass. You could have been a revolution, but instead you cashed in. I don't care if you make false assumptions. Your critiques are poor. Hashtag Mueller is a hypocrite.
Aw, man.
Wow. That's quite the combo of flumpy things that have been
Yeah.
said.
It's a lot.
Yeah. Hey, EFAPcast. Hey, Rags. Mauler.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
I remember when I first saw TLJ, I had such anger and confusion to what I'd watched in cinema. I couldn't put it into words. Then, like a saint, your videos had appeared in my suggestions and did it for me. Aww. I mean, yeah, it's quite a thing, right? Because, you know, the standard experience for people is to watch a movie and it's so good that everyone talks about how good it was and how much they enjoyed it. It's pretty rare for a film to come out that's so fucking rancid that everyone, like, can't wait to share with each other how much it fucking annoyed them.
It brought people together.
Yeah.
It brought us together.
Yeah, EFAP was built on TLJ. It's kind of weird, but that's what happened. Hey, Mola, first time donating. Also, an unrelated note, Rags, you lazy cunt, get back to work. Your commentary is missed. Oh,
I will. Do not you worry. I miss doing it. I really do. When I can sit down and work it feels good to work and be productive at this.
Noise.
It's nice to be able to be like, yeah, it's my channel. I get to say what I want to say. I'm breaking all the rules, except I follow all the rules because YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As well if
Sorry,
it's
YouTube, for implying otherwise.
As well if he's already at the EFAP 138 Superchats. Aren't these the ones you're reading right now?
What I'm reading right now, we've got one
This
more that
one's-
is from Streamlabs, so then all the Streamlabs is done, and then I can start 138.
I see. Well, there you go. Andromeda was dog shit. You could barely play over 8 hours of it. The only thing that was good about it was the combat. Oh, there you go.
I remember the combat being fine.
Oh, what do you got here?
Would you recommend Resident Evil Village to someone with mommy issues? Asking for a friend.
No. Amnesia Rebirth is definitely
That's
the
fun.
game you want to play if you have mommy issues.
Why would you ever recommend that at all anyway?
I'm not. Don't play Amnesia Rebirth. Play Soma and the Dark Descent.
Yes.
Yes.
Even I would take Machine for Pigs over Rebirth.
I didn't even finish a Machine for Pigs. I don't know if I ever will do that, but I remember liking it more than Amnesia.
It's more of a, so you know how we used to get movies like Terminator 3 where it's like, okay, you wanted to be Terminator 2 again. You didn't do a very good job.
Yeah.
Moving on. That's what Machine for Pigs was to me. It's like it wants to be Dark Descent. It cut corners. It didn't do things very well, and it kind of relies on the name. I was like, eh. And looking at it in retrospect, I'm nowhere near as annoyed at Machine for Pigs as I was at fucking Rebirth. Rebirth is much more akin
Yeah.
to
I was just
TLJ,
like, oh,
right?
this
Or-
just isn't as good as the Dark Descent, but I don't like hate it. I'm not like, oh, you suck, because that wasn't even that was the Chinese room. That wasn't even
yeah, it wasn't that
yeah, it wasn't
frictional.
frictional. Yeah.
Which is, you know, again, it just moves you sort of your perception a little bit because Machine for Pigs is like Terminator 3, while Rebirth is more like Terminator Genesis or Dark Fate, where you're just like, wow, you guys, the kings of reinventing horror in gaming, fucking relied on jump scares, some of the worst that I've ever seen.
You
It's
mean
like,
fear
this
flashes?
it's never not going to piss me off thinking about that.
Fear flashes.
I
Wow,
wonder,
That's
like,
right.
Yeah.
I just wonder. I want to know what the meetings were like. How did Thomas Grip allow that to happen?
Mm.
The fuck, man. It's like the complete opposite of everything they've talked about.
Talking about Amnesia, I'm gonna play that soon. Not too many followers away from that, by the way.
Which one?
Dark Descent, yeah.
Well, if you
Oh,
got stuck
boy.
on the jam last time, so we'll see if you get stuck on the jam this time.
Really? I don't even remember that. I know I got stuck. I didn't know specifics, but you know that game inside out, so I'll believe you. I'll believe you.
Machine for Pigs had a pretty awesome monologue at the end. I did like that quite a bit, and I like the whole like industrial era and pigs. The idea, the aesthetic. I like. There's a lot of stuff to like in it. I
Yeah,
just
the world is a machine for pigs, fit only for the destruction of pigs.
It
All
was,
that sort of idea, yeah.
it was just like really. It felt really thin. You know what? Maybe the coming Halloween I will stream that. So I think I did Dark Descent last Halloween, so do that this Halloween. Then maybe Soma the Halloween forward. I like to give that old game a replay and just admire a lot of what it did. I don't know if any of you guys knew. I like Stoma.
Do you?
Oh yeah, me too. It's pretty great.
Pretty cool.
It's fantabulous.
How come that has nothing to do with me, right? Like you playing it. That we played it separately for different reasons, right, Rex?
I can't remember.
So I was about to
I
say,
know
like, what made you decide to play it out of curiosity?
I can't remember I can't remember. I legit can't.
'Cause, for me, it was literally like the makers of Dark Descent have come out with
I think
another
that was-
game.
I think that was probably what it was for me. This is Frictional's next game.
I almost wanna
so...
relive that shit, like, because I thought Dark Descent was so incredible, and they made another game, and it was also incredible, and it was different. It's like, how fucking nice that is. You're just like, oh, I was excited and hyped for a game, and it was really good, like really fucking good. It's like that doesn't happen much anymore. Blind Manor was kind of that, but we were all pretty worried, even.
Yeah, because our life was just disappointment after disappointment at that kind of stage. Everything was getting ruined, and so we're like, oh no.
Here we go. Blind
No,
Manor
and
will be
plus
shit.
And plus, it was the ending of Hill House.
Yeah.
So we were like, oh no,
Yeah.
Oh fuck yeah! I remember us all being like, "Oh god, will they pull it together in this or not?"
Yeah. How you liking Nier? I love both games purely for subjective reasons, as Nier Automata is my favorite game of all time. Oh, nice. I love the characters more in the first game, but the themes and messaging more in the sequel. I had a lot of fun with Replicant. I think the story is a fucking mess. The characters were pretty fun though. Automata, I probably need to replay that at some point because I only played it when it came out. I just remember it being fun, but I barely remember the story. But yeah, let's see. Have you guys haven't played those games, right? I'm sure you.
No,
didn't.
I have not. I've heard Nier's very good though.
Yeah.
Combat is pretty fun. I like the combat a lot. Cool. This to EFAP and not to see you play. Yeah, it's all kinds of silly shit we do here.
Oh yes.
Or else.
There are no old men, only long men and yeatisms. It's true. Y'all should watch the Pacific World War II miniseries made by the creators of Band of Brothers, but follows the stories of 3 Marines. To be honest, it's a 10 out of 10. It's great. Yeah, I've seen Band of Brothers. I've always intended to watch the Pacific. I'm pretty sure Fringy fully recommends it, so there's that too.
I think I wanted to watch it when I was still traveling a lot on the train, but then for some reason I didn't. Because I watched Band of Brothers again, I was like, that was great, and I'm gonna watch the other one, and then for some reason I didn't. Probably because I was a flankers or whatever, I don't know.
Yeah. I really like Machine for Pigs. Gear's not that great, but the atmosphere, music, and voice acting are all really good. I am inclined to agree with that.
Yeah, from what I
memory.
remember, I did like the atmosphere and I did like the voice. So who knows? If it had came out before the Dark Descent, we'd probably be much more.
Oh,
you know.
yeah, if it was that and then Dark Descent, that would probably just be considered like, yeah, they did okay, and then they did really good.
Dang it.
Hello, Massives. Thanks for the birthday stream, and if you can answer this question, how do I, as an aspiring author, make my story stand out from others? Oh, that's
Make
a
it
tough
good.
one. Honestly, that's the sad reality. I think that
Yeah.
we've discovered with Bly Manor. It doesn't actually matter if your thing is good. Standing out is tough. That's one of them. I don't even know. What do you call it? Like lightning in a bottle sort of things. Like you can't quite quantify what'll do it.
I wouldn't say lightning in a bottle. That's like the perfect. Everything just happens to line up at the perfect time. That's the first Ghostbusters and Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Yeah.
Those are just everything just happened to happen in the right way at the right time, and it just worked. So, but I'd say, it is sad, but it's true. Like if you want it to stand, like, if it's good, it will stand out. Whether or not that translates into sales, unfortunately, that's its own thing. But
I figure the typical way is premise. That's like one of the most. So
yes,
you know, like Attack on Titan. It's like it's a group of people surviving in a world where giant monsters attack them from the outside, and they have to keep battling them away while trying to live. It's like that sounds crazy. What the hell? Anime has lots of that where they'll be like, "This is the premise. Does that not sound nuts? Do you want to watch it?" Like,
yeah, that's one thing I will give anime credit for is that they're not afraid to make batshit insane premises that
yeah.
you'd never
Oh,
get
yeah.
elsewhere. The problem is they're just often really horribly executed, and they're full of terrible characters that say stupid shit.
meanwhile,
do
you
things
have
in dumb ways.
something like Bly Manor. It's like pitch me it. It's like, well, it's like a haunted house. This, you know, and people, you know, there's interpersonal drama, and people are dying. Maybe it's like, okay, well, yeah, I might check that out. I guess it's like, yeah.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, it's like, you want to see a giant monkey fight a giant lizard? Yeah.
Fuck yeah!
So yeah, that's a tough one. Because I wouldn't want to tell people, like, when you're writing your story, make sure you have crazy shit happen so that you can tell people about your premise and they'll be tempted to check it out from that alone. It's like, well, it's kind of a whole other discussion talking about what's eye-catching and what's going to make it stand out. But I mean, with no hint of irony, if it is really well written, I would hope it does stand out just for that, honestly.
Yeah.
Would be nice at least, yeah.
Yeah, restore some faith in humanity, you know?
I love him so much, but it
So
seems
said-
the Japanese are obsessed with making their stories crazy. Oh, it's funny, we just talked about this. Pure nonsense.
Yeah.
Whoa, why is that? It's so strange sometimes. Yeah, it really is.
And
So-
you're right in chat. I meant to say Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Charlie's the remake.
Oh, okay.
Charlie Wonka and the Chocolate Willy.
Oh, yeah, no. Is there a Castlevania anime that has Nazis, robots, and vampires? I do not know.
I would hope so. I am happy that Frog is third host. By the way, why is a crying German still alive?
What's that mean?
Well, he's not dehydrated yet. I'm
Yeah,
assuming that's
drink
what they're wondering.
Plenty of water. Always stay hydrated.
Plenty
Do
of
it.
tears for the whole family.
That's why I have to pee all the time, because I drink lots of water.
Yeah.
Which is funny because I drink lots of water too, but I don't do pee breaks a lot of the time. And I think I might have what's called a galaxy bladder.
Long man diaper.
Oh no. And yeah, so we are currently caught up with this stream, and we've caught up with Streamlabs.
Oh.
So now I can
Jolly.
start looking at the ones from the Resident Evil stream, but of what we don't get to, because I'm already running low on energon, but I can keep going for a bit. We will again, like if you didn't catch your last EFAP, I think the next EFAP is going to be probably me, Rags, Fringy, and Metal, if everybody's on board, and we will
Yeah,
for
I guess
an
I can
extended
stop
period
by.
of time be
Friday?
catching up with Superchats only. Wait, what?
Friday or Saturday?
Saturday, probably.
Don't know when I'll be available, but I'll come hang out as soon as I'm available. Sure.
Very well. But yeah, I think we're gonna do super chats only on that one. Finally,
Dang.
because we've had like 3 EFAPs that are 10 to 11 hours.
Oh
That's
boy.
you know, if we're going by the EFAP 3 time, I think it was EFAP 3, then that's like 9 episodes of content. So, you know, I think
So
it's
what
time
you're
to
saying
catch
is we're
up, you
making
know?
less episodes now?
Well, what's funny is I do have a thing in the back of my head where I'm like, oh, we gotta make sure we line up with the 50 per year thing. We are very ahead of schedule on that one,
Oh, look at us.
and we've got another meme fab to make. So yeah, we might need to. I say need to skip a week. What will happen is we'll probably do an EFAP mini super chat catch up instead.
Someone just in my chat. When I'm available. That's why you're not a host, Metal. You know what?
Those are some rookie numbers.
And that's okay with me. I like freedom. Now for the
Not
real
free
question.
gay.
What is Rack's favorite character in Mass Effect, and why is it Garrus Chad Vicarian?
It might be Morden.
Oh,
Might
no.
be my favorite. I really like Morden, Rex, and Garrus, but I think it's probably between Morden and Rex. It's my favorites.
Nice. One day I'll play those games again and I remember the characters.
One day I will play them and know what the characters are.
I mean,
Yay.
I guess I'll wait until I guess the remaster is a port. Is that correct on Steam for a Mass
I
Effect?
just heard I just heard that the PC versions apparently got a lot of issues. in
Yeah,
it.
that's what I heard. That's what I was going for. It's like I'll probably wait until this is like usable if they ever fix it or add options. I think that was like the thing. There's like barely any options in the menu. Then I probably just play that. But yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, the first one for the Resident Evil stream was, in quotations, "Oh my god," and then Ethan, Tism man.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Oh my
yeah.
god.
That is, you've captured about 90% of the insight you get from Ethan in that comment. Yeah.
He says it's dark.
What the hell?
What the hell? Why
the
does
hell?
everyone keep dying on me?
A dead body. Oh my god.
I think it's dark is still my favorite one.
Oh,
Like,
it's
that-
possibly
that-
the best one. Yeah.
That one made me laugh every time I played it and I heard it in other people's
was,
streams. That's it's hilarious.
From what I
I
remember,
think I just said no shit, Ethan, and just kept going.
Yeah.
I was in finished game mode sort of at that point. And I was like, come on, let's go.
I think the first time I actually paused and started laughing. It's
I
like,
think that's
oh,
what,
really?
With
It's
my
dark.
stream, was talking about some other flaw with the game for a while, and it sort of we'd finished up, and I was like, right through this door, and I opened it. He went, it's dark, and I was like, ugh. God damn it, Ethan. Hello, lads. Hope everyone's doing good. Such a long number of guests. Oh, yes. Yes. We got 9mans. Hey, Chase, been checking out your content. You're truly a Chad face. Yeah, I would recommend Chase's channel. He makes some good videos. It's the one off the top of my head I would recommend is his Klonoa one. That game is pretty rough for a kid's game. I never played it, but oh my
Klonoa?
goodness.
I've never heard of that.
He was breaking it down. Like some of the events in that game, I was just like, Jesus Christ, children are gonna get fucking sad death. Death by sad. That's what's gonna happen.
Hey Mootle, I believe you take game recommendations from chat. Would Iron Harvest be something you'd be interested in streaming? Is that the new RTS game I saw on Steam once? Like steampunky World War?
Heard of that.
Is
I
that
don't
the
know what it
one?
is.
I saw it. It looked kind of interesting, but I never checked it out. But yeah, might be. It's my answer to those recommendations is basically the same as EFAP movies. It's possible.
Well, yeah, because the honest answer is, you know, I appreciate that you would be interested in us consuming it, and there's possibilities in future that it might be, but we're certainly not like putting every recommendation onto a list that we absolutely will definitely do. It's like that's just not going to be possible, nor would it be like reasonable, I don't think. But you know, I always appreciate a recommendation, and some stuff does come out of it, right? Like here and there, we check out different things, and we're like, you know what, I did like that thing. Boy, I bet.
Favorite human companion in the ME series, Rags? Mass Effect, obviously.
God, they were all kind of... Miranda was okay in terms of character. She's probably my favorite in terms of human character. No, Jack is probably my favorite in terms of human characters. But in terms of which one I would play with the most, it was Caden Alenko from Mass Effect 1. And here's the reason why. Because Caden Alenko had access to decryption. And decryption was a skill that you needed in Mass Effect 1 to open a non-unsubstantial amount of locked crates and doors that would give you many good items. So if you did not yourself have decryption, then until you got Garrus or until you got someone else who had decryption, or like Tali, actually I can't remember if Garrus had decryption. I think Tali did, but until you got someone who had sufficient decryption, you had to carry Caden Alenko's ass around so that you could unlock all of that stuff that you wouldn't have otherwise been able to even open. So that's who I played with the most. And you might notice that is not for a character reason. And that is correct, because these games are not perfect.
What?
Boo!
That's
Garrus
rape.
did. I think Garrus did, yeah. And Garrus is someone I enjoyed having on the team. Overload was always a good ability, and Decryption was just an excellent passive. You get Tali at the very beginning though, before you start exploring. You get Tali. You don't get Tali. You get Tali in the Citadel the first time, but you still have to do stuff before you get Tali, because you unlock Tali after you save her from, I think, Black Sun thugs in that alleyway. So you often wouldn't have her, you wouldn't have her until that point.
How would you rate like Mass Effect as a whole as a gaming experience? Like, if there were a 0 to 10 for this?
I'd probably put it like around 8-ish in total.
Pretty good.
I mean, pretty decently high, but a lot of it's, you know, like the first Mass Effect is the most different of the series. There's a lot of, you have to think about where you're going to actually go and how to get there, and there's not as much hand-holding in that. It's more of an old schoolish RPG in that sense. And 2 and 3 are really solid games, but I'd probably say 8 as a whole. That's quite high for me. An 8 is very good, so.
Oh yeah, I already know we're in good territory for an 8. It's like the inverse of the 2, where you're like, wow, we're in some really bad territory if we're in a 2.
Massive Effect.
The chickens didn't shoot themselves, and you know who else didn't either? Epstein.
Oh my
Dun
goodness.
dun
Dun,
dun.
dun, dun.
Love the gaming streams and discussions so much. Cheers, Mola. Hi, Rags, and congratulations, Fringy.
Oh, hi.
Yeah, I'm sure you'd appreciate it, and absolutely, we love them too. You know, we talk a lot about movies, and TV shows have crept in quite a bit as well, but it's always nice to jump back to games every once in a while. You know, what was it, Rags? Your domain? Your, games are your thing, right?
I like to think they are. Yeah, that's my kingdom. My castle's built out of game cartridges, and
I mean, if mine was to be one thing, it probably would be film, but at the same time, I've watched a shit ton of TV, and I've also played loads of games, so it feels weird, you know? It's like, I don't know, kind of just like all of them. They're all neat. I like it when stories happen and mechanics happen. I just hope that they're better than not good.
At what number in a 1 to 10 scale would you say that a piece of media is worth a watch? I mean, that depends what you want to do.
That one's
I
tough,
would-
because
yeah.
there's a variable attached to worth watching, and that's going to be on the person. So, if someone was like, would you recommend Resident Evil 8? I'd be like, nah. It's like, but I love 7. Would you recommend it? It's like, oh, actually, yeah, it would be worthwhile for you.
What just happened?
yeah, it's better than 7.
So, it's like, I don't know, maybe 5+, because in a general sense, it's like, it might, if you can get it, if it's 5+, that means that there's a good chance the person will at least enjoy it and possibly really like it. Just
Yeah.
the averages, I guess. Kind of hard to call that, though. I was very bothered by the fact that the hardcore and Village of Shadows unlockable weapons are worse than the endgame plus Magnum. Why, Mola? Why? Dude, the lightsaber, man. Like, why in the world would you make the lightsaber not a lightsaber?
So lame.
What is the point? It was so funny as well, because like when I first pulled it out and was slashing it around and stuff, and I think someone in Mel's chat was like, oh, there's multiple modes, you know, there's the damage mode, the heal mode, and the defense mode. And it's like, you're gonna want the damage mode. It's like, I was on the damage mode.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Big sad.
And yeah, the only value you'll get out of it is being like, hey, friendo, I have the lightsaber, check it out. And you swing it, and then they go, huh,
Ah, lightsaber. Cool.
yeah, okay, well. And that's it. You got double S rank in all of Mercenaries for that. Because you're not going to use it. I swear to God, if anybody fucking used it for anything other than achievements or for the cool factor, I'd be surprised. Like, if anyone thought, you know what, I'm going to pull out the lightsaber here.
Or like a meme challenge run or whatever.
Because if you've got that, you've got infinite weapons, at least one of them.
Yeah.
And at that point, why even... Because I don't know if you guys noticed, there's a lot of grabbing in the game. And if you get close to enemies, they're going to grab you. They're going to touch your butt. And the lightsaber requires that you get close to them. Wouldn't that have been cool? An alternate fire? As much as it's goofy, whatever, the whole fucking game is lost at this point anyway. If, like, alternate fire was to throw the lightsaber and draw it back with, you know, the Force, but no.
The quote-unquote Force. Yeah.
That would be really fucking cool
yeah,
as a meme
that's-
weapon.
That would be cool.
And I really feel like if this was made back when games were really cool and had bonus shit, that there would be unique animations for just cutting them in half. It would probably be one animation, but it would still be something. It's like, why is the handle for the lightsaber so lame too?
It looks so shit. Like,
It's weird. It's like a.
Yeah,
Looks
why?
looks Poopenheimer, so I don't like it.
Yeah, it was Poopenheimers, you're right. Can't be having Poopenheimers, it's
Yeah.
wrong. So yeah, I don't know why, viewer. I do not know why. Hello again, Maul. The giant in Resident Evil 8 is called Urias, but being a Romanian, I believe they wanted to call it Urias, which pronounced Urias,
Uranus?
which means giant in Romanian. Hello to your guests.
Hello.
Hello.
You know, I thought Urias was kind of a cool name.
Urias, yeah. I think Urias is a nifty name. I thought it was weird that you can kill him at the beginning, but I guess he comes back, or that's just a different one that's
Or,
identical.
yeah, I was
to
gonna
him.
say, I
just
guess
a
there's more
different
than
one.
one Urias. It makes you think like it's his name, not that it's his species or something. You know?
Yeah.
Like, no, the Urias are big troll people. And you're like, okay.
I think there's even isn't there like even just a second one in the cutscene? Right after you kill him in the first section.
I think you're right. Yeah, I think there is. I'm not actually 100% sure because I've killed him, but now I can't remember. I'm pretty sure he shows up. Yeah.
I would need to check my stream, but
Well, do you know why I think there's a second one, Mel? Because I don't believe for a second they created an animation that didn't involve Urias, because that would take effort and it would matter what the player chose to do. So it's like, nah, they wouldn't have done that. But perhaps my bias has now come through, and they did. Who knows? The Dimitrescu's are morons. Their invulnerability is at a whim of a broken window, yet they don't completely cold-proof the castle. They don't escape when they can transform into flies.
Yeah, they're very dumb.
They're incredibly stupid. Everybody is in the game, including Ethan and Chris. Everybody's a fucking moron.
They're all
Everyone's
dumbos.
How else can you have the game run? And then you have people being like, yeah, but Resident Evil's always been stupid, guys. It's fine.
Stop it.
Started 7 minutes ago. It's a sign. 7 minutes. Fire an RPG into his face. If you're gonna go on a killing rampage, do it at the School for the Deaf. You'll probably get more kills. Rich Evans, 2015.
That's fair enough. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you know, where's the lie? That's what people would say.
That is weird that no one's done that. Like, actually, you think it'd be really. Why haven't people? Do they just not think of it? Do they forget that those are places that exist, or?
As much as there would be, how
I know,
many,
it
how
wouldn't
many
be
schools for the deaf are
I
there?
guess.
And I wonder, there's
I don't
probably the
know.
teachers probably aren't deaf, right? They're probably like they're lit.
Probably
They know
not.
what's
But you'd
up.
think that if you were gonna, do that sort of thing, traveling to one wouldn't be that much of an ask,
Well, Rag's gonna come out with a critique of school shooters,
I'll
an
fucking do it.
expose.
Maybe people there don't hate each other that much, so they don't shoot each other up.
That didn't sound
That
right.
could- that sounds, you know, sometimes you shoot people because you love them, Mel. Okay.
I haven't done
That's
that
why I shoot
before.
people.
I
Fine.
just dislike that she's completely invincible. Even Mr. X, who was very different from old RE2, would drop to his knees for like 30 seconds in Remake. I would have thoroughly appreciated her having a stagger function that knocked her out for a minute or so. That would be very nice,
Oh,
but
piss off.
they just didn't want to do it. Will you check out Love, Death, and Robots Season 2? I've not checked out Season 1, so...
Yeah, I don't know anything about it. I've
I
heard of
don't- I
it,
don't-
but
Yeah. Chase, no one know what it means, but it's provocative. It gets the people going. I don't know what they're referring to with that one,
yeah, me
but
either.
I don't disagree. Wasted my first super chat. I'm such a noob. Second try then. Thanks for all the content, guys. Wouldn't have been able to paint so many miniatures without having your long content to listen to. Thank you. Hey.
Yay.
Hope you're having fun with whatever it is you may be painting.
Absolutely.
I haven't played
Painting
RE8. Is it true Lady Dimitrescu sentenced the protagonist to death by Snoo Snoo? If only. She basically says like, yeah, we'll eat him as soon as we get permission from Lady Miranda, and then you just escape. It's like, lame.
And they don't take your guns or.
Nope.
Oh, are you mad? Look at all the coins I have. Epic.
A monk is quiet, needs turning up. Hopefully, I turned him up.
Have any of you massive
Yeah, I
watched
hope
the
so.
Castlevania series? I watched the first and second season. It was pretty fun. That's all I remember. It's been a while.
I heard generally good things about it, but it's an anime, so I don't know what that means.
If this isn't read on Super Chat Catch-Up, odds are Chase is still here, so tell him to calm down after you read the part that demands you play DDLC. Don't worry, he's not right now. He's nowhere to be seen. I have missed Chase with every bullet so far. Did you guys get it?
No, explain.
So like I miss Chase, and then it's like with every bullet so far.
Oh, okay.
No.
Yeah. Insensible made an adorable effort to be good. If I ever choose a word to describe it, it would be cringe.
Invincible.
I think they mean invincible.
Yeah.
So invincible made an adorable effort to be good, and if I had to choose a way to describe it, it would be cringe. Damn.
It's theirs. I heard so many different takes.
I know, same. It's like EFAP don't want to go near it because who knows what'll happen. Open up a hatch of bees, crocodile bees. We don't want that. Jurassic Park EFAP movies when? Also hi Rags.
Hi.
I am more than up for doing the arc for Jurassic Park, and
Yeah.
who knows when that may be. You're gonna have to finish up the DC one soon. I say finish up as if there's not gonna be more. There will be, but you know.
Yeah.
We've got the war movie one going, and you know who knows what else is gonna come. Hey Rags,
Hey.
I started playing Mass Effect for the first time on PC. Are you proud of me? Also hi.
I am. Good for you.
That's terrible.
Holy crap! There's more people in this panel than were present for my mother's last gangbang. All right.
That's
you know,
well.
it's indicative of something.
So there
not
could have
sure.
been between 2 to 8
Yes.
people during that, which is pretty different.
Yeah. Hello to whichever guests are still present. Also hi Rags.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi Mola. Hello. I watched Buffy and Angel because of you and liked it. Oh, well that's good. I'm glad you liked it. And hi Rags.
Hello.
I switched to and built my PC because of your videos. Thank you, wonderful
that's
masters.
great.
See, we're helping out different people, one recommendation of different kinds at a time. Rags, this is a movie trying to be the game. Is the lamest criticism I've heard of this game. Shut up and go back to playing Senua Walking Simulator. Ooh.
No, but Cine was good at what it's trying to do, so I don't mind it nearly as much. And I've been very clear that it just does it right for me subjectively. Cinema does it way better than this game tries to do it.
Yeah, and people said
This
that
game
about
is
Soma.
just-
Like, oh, Soma's a
Huh?
walking simulator, you know? And it's like, I mean, the thing, like, if someone said, like, there are more mechanics in Resident Evil 8 than there are in Soma, and I'd be like, well, yes. However, the way that you consume these pieces of content are kind of indicative of what's missing, right? Because, like, what's required versus what's missing, what's there, and I feel like Resident Evil 8 almost hates the fact that it has to have shooting mechanics. It's like, ugh.
Yeah, there's so little of it that's actually happening, and what's in there isn't good. Whereas Resident Evil 4 is just like, this is our combat, enjoy it, savor it, get better at it, there's lots of it.
Also, by the way, I don't think it's fair to, like, cut these things out and then just say they're lame on their own. So if I gave you every criticism I had of Resident Evil 8, and then I ended it with, in short, Resident Evil 8 is fucking lame. And then if someone went, like, Resident Evil 8 is lame, that's, like, the shittiest criticism I've ever heard. And I'd be like, well, I mean, it's all the other stuff I said. Like, it's not just that. It's just something that I was saying as a conclusion.
No.
And if this is the beginning, the whole point is that, yeah, you're getting the blurbs, and then you get 10 hours of us talking about it. And boy, did we talk about it. Also, Fringy best guest, Feck Die Mootle. I love you.
Eat shit.
Wow.
Wow, you can't take criticism.
Yeah,
No.
I mean, I didn't want to say it, but, you know, it's right there.
I have to compensate for my
Metalkin-
tiny penis.
Metal, can you ask the hosts if there will be a new EFAP logo that puts Fringy with the other hosts?
The question, what that question was, because I forgot half of it already.
That's actually in creation as we speak. It's on the way. I was hoping to get it ready before the thing happened, but timelines just sort of moved around, and you know how it be. But yes, there will be a new banner. It's on its way. It's gonna be wonderful. Ding, 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 ding. Greetings, Rags.
Hi.
I'd say it's great to see you all, but Chase is here. Oh,
Rude.
poor Chase. Rags, you just like Doom Eternal, the most video game ever for for the minorest of stuff.
I don't know if what I said was minor. I just don't want to play a game with shooting that I don't. That's fine, I guess. That's space between. Like, why? How come? I don't want to play a shitty platformer. Kind of.
How
Like
much
Doom.
platform is in there? Because I never actually got to play it.
Yeah, there's a lot of really crappy platforming in Doom Eternal. Like
Yeah,
it really wants
platforming
to.
was
It really thinks.
weird.
It really thinks. It really wants to be a platforming game, and it's really not a good one either. And it puts it really pumps the brakes on a lot of the gameplay, and it's really unnecessary. And I really don't like that about it. And I don't think the gameplay is like that great, but I don't really care that much about Doom Eternal. So people get super pissed, but I just don't care about Doom Eternal. So I don't care what you have to say about it.
Well, they went on to say your objective criticism in games is voided.
Okay.
Well, if you say so.
I mean, it's like, all right then.
All right then.
I didn't like this one game you liked. Your criticisms are void. Duh.
I'm
Have you just got
sure.
Doom Eternal, the platforming is pretty bad. Yeah, it's pretty bad.
It's really
And
annoying.
I did fine with it. I just don't like it. I don't like a lot of the decisions that they made with a lot of the game stuff and what you
It
have
just
to
kind
do.
of
and what
reminds
you
me
need to
of
do.
I hate it when platforming of any kind turns up in Dark Souls games. I'm like, please no.
Mm.
And Dark Souls 2 did a whole bunch of random bits
Yeah.
of platforming. It was like, I beg you to stop, please. You didn't build a game that was capable of doing it. Stop doing it. I swear, every RE story is complete garbage. You think they would have learned by now. I'm honestly curious if they hired a writer next time and they wrote a story, that what would happen? Would the RE community like be upset because the game isn't crap? I mean, the story
Because the
isn't
game
crap.
is like both with 7 and 8, they clearly want to have like stories with characters, but they're shit.
I refuse to believe that if RE7 and 8 were written by a really good, competent writer and they were really awesome stories, that people would be upset. I refuse to believe
Yeah,
that.
there's no way. There's no way they'd say that. What they
it's the
do is
third-
they use it as a defense mechanism to say this. But that's what a lot of people in chat were saying. It was always shit. It was always shit, as if that was an excuse for how shit it was.
Mm.
Like, we would all be saying, like, how fucking awesome is it that this Resident Evil actually has a story that's not retarded? How cool is that?
Yeah, it would be
And
nice.
you definitely, as you said, you get the sense that that's what they're going for when you first play Resident Evil 7. You're like, oh, this feels really different. Like, we're taking this seriously now. And then the game is like, no, not really. And you're like, oh, okay.
Ah, okay. Can I just say I really love Rag's impression of Heisenberg has become my mental voice for him.
Oh, thanks.
I wish we had more Heisenberg. What can you do?
Absolutely.
Oh my god, my shot speed is insane.
Did Cuckman work on RE Village? No, I don't think so.
It's not that
I
bad.
don't think so either.
Look, just
Yeah,
because it's a bad game doesn't mean he must have worked on it, okay?
What the fuck? Oh shit.
Yeah. Hello, Mola. Being a classic Resi Evil fan, I'm a bit worried about the new fantasy direction the game takes.
Really? I'm not.
I honestly think that Resident Evil, certainly at this point, it can be anything. Like, it can really, they can do whatever the fuck they want. And
Yeah.
It's probably going to be okay. I think, was it Chase or John? Somebody said that they liked, I think it was Indigo Gaming actually, they liked that it was back in a mansion. I guess they associate like the haunted mansion with Resident Evil. I'm like, that's fine with me. At the same time though, if they want to experiment, go for it. I don't see why not.
Sure, sure.
And to be honest with you, this part of what made me frustrated with this game was baiting me with werewolves and vampires. It's like, don't you dare, you give me that werewolf vampire content.
Yeah, you bastards.
You don't be lying to me. Give me Van Helsing. Give me the Frankenstein yelling and vampires going wee. And werewolves biting people. That's what I want. And it's funny because you'd be like, they do all of that in the game. It's like, no, they don't.
Global chip shortage to last a couple of more years, confirms IBM. Oh damn, really?
Damn
Well, I
you.
guess they have to build all the factories to please all the.
We were on the verge of like streamlining
Greatness.
really
We were
good
this close.
chips to loads of people for much lower cost than expected, and then COVID was like, lol. But it was like, oh no. COVID.
I heard you needed silicon.
And on my birthday, how thoughtful. Congrats to Fringy on the promotion. Mauler, you're gay. Oh. You know what? I'll take. That's fine. You know, that's fine. Yeah. Hi, M. Hi, Rags.
I.
Also, I looked on your channel but could not find anything on Resident Evil 2 Remake. Did you play it? Hello, your guests.
Hello.
I did play it. I'm starting to like fucking question whether or not I did. It's like I definitely did. I just I didn't complete it. I didn't stream it either. I was just playing it. So there isn't anything on my channel about it. New. Don't you dare start complaining about the mouse speed after I had to go through this on controller. Don't you even. You don't even slow.
Oh yeah, the mouse speed thing you were saying. Yeah, I had to bump my mouse speed, the sensitivity, way up when I first started playing Resident Evil Village. It is extremely low.
I remember doing that. I was holding the baby, and I was like, I need to move faster than this. This is not good enough. I could start twirling around and possibly throwing the baby around.
Yay.
That's the way it should be. Currently rewatching all of EFAP on 21 right now. Hope y'all are doing good. I've been watching since Wolf took his first break. Glad I could finally pop my super chat cherry.
Nice.
Oh,
Oh boy,
wonderful. Thank you very much.
how exciting!
Mr. Moodle, you are very nice in this show. Please come more.
Even more? Aw, man.
Even more.
Oh, appreciate it.
Hi, Rags.
Hi.
And I have a question for Chase. Who you chasing?
Nice.
Anime. That is the answer. Full of thoughts on
It's just
Ethan
anime.
Biden. Ethan Biden? What's the meme there? Is it the does Ethan forget things?
Probably.
I am not sure what we're suggesting with Ethan Biden, unless Ethan Biden's an actual character from something else. I assume it's a meme though. I reckon you're memeing. I'm afraid I don't quite get it though. What evil do residents commit in the village?
All of it.
They worshipped a spooky cult god person, and well, you get what you get when you do that.
Death.
Why the game so bad with no FOV option? It's a wonder that we all had, I suppose. And which Resident Evil game? Go ahead.
Oh yeah, it's very annoying if or I'd say, are they asking why FOV option? Why it's bad to not have FOV options, or?
Well, it's a little bit. The English isn't perfect, so they said why the game's so bad with no FOV option. So that could mean why would they not have an FOV option, or it could be why is it bad to not have one. I'm not sure. But obviously, on one hand, it's bad because it fucks with your perception. It's really frustrating when you have things locked off your screen from being able to view when you wouldn't normally, if only they would give you more space. And causes motion sickness for a lot of people, too. I don't have that issue myself, but I find it fucking annoying. I like me some FOV. And yeah, and as for like why they don't have it, I don't even know. Hopefully that's going to come in an update or something. So for the amount of options they have, you'd think they'd have that.
Yeah, clearly a lot of work went into it, but they just flat out don't have an FOV option.
Yeah, it's weird.
That's
Weird.
bizarre.
Rem Lazar.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So which Resident Evil game the whole panel like the most and least? So most for me is 4. It's 4 for Rags. Least
Yeah.
for me is... I've never actually thought about this.
Yeah.
It might be 6. Because... And I'm not even going from anything reference other than what I remember. And I didn't like it, so... That's actually... It might be interesting for us to play that, so I can finally figure out what's going on with 6. Because, like, I'm pretty sure I tried to play it twice, and I only got a few hours in both times, and I didn't like it. And I'm just like, why is that? So yeah, probably 6 because because the only other competition will be 7, and I just from memory I kind of liked 7 more than 6, so yeah, that's all I got to work with. All right, you two next. Go ahead.
My favorite was 4. My least favorite was RE2 Remake.
Mortal.
I didn't play that many. Let's see, which did I play? I played RE3, then the RE remake or R3 make, whatever you want to fucking call it, with their stupid fucking names. Which also Resident Evil 4, obviously. I played 5, and then 8. I think that's the only ones I've played. None of them were terrible for me. But
We got to get you playing Resident Evil 4 then.
Wait, did I play Resident Evil 4?
No, I mean just again.
Oh, I mean, that's just gonna happen at some point.
Yeah.
I don't know. Which one would be the worst? I guess overall, RE8 would be the worst, even though that's one of the ones I played the most.
Yes, well, so this is kind of the difficulty with the question. It could end up, because it would be like, so you're saying that RE6 is worse than 7 and 8, and I'd be like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess I'm just going from like a quick memory. I don't really know.
Yeah, pretty much. Just stop playing RE4 right now. No.
Do it. The story in this game
I'm
genuinely
literally
pisses me
playing
off.
Reaper right now.
This is coming from someone who likes Resident Evil stories, which are usually pretty dumb. Yeah, it's I get the frustration of listening to people talk about how nonsensical it is when you're like, wait, I thought they were all nonsensical. Why are you doing this? But at the same time, it's like, that doesn't mean we should never talk about these things. Like, come on. If someone played Resident Evil 5 and was like, I really hated it because the story made no fucking sense, I would honestly be like, yeah, probably. I've never really
Yeah,
thought
the
about
RE4 story is not great.
I don't. And if someone was like, I don't know, why don't you know all the in-depth reasons for why all the different Resident Evils are bad? It's like, well, I guess I haven't played them recently. I've not even thought about it. But this game was brand new. It's very story-driven. And if you try to take it seriously and care about something in it, then you're going to be very disappointed because nothing makes any fucking sense. Now, I find it infinitely amusing. But you'll try and argue that the game is like, nah, it's fucking nonsensical on purpose. But then it'll be like, look how meaningful and sad the sacrifice Ethan makes at the end is. Like, the only way I can care about that is if I start to think about how everything works in conjunction with it, and it's all nonsense. So, which is it? Do we laugh at how silly all of it is and not actually care about criticizing the story, or do we actually like take it seriously and talk about it and break it apart? Because, good God.
Yeah.
And like, it baffles me that so many people are like unable to grasp what we said about Duke. It's like,
Yeah,
he fucks with the whole story significantly. Like, why is it so hard for people? He's not like the merchant.
He isn't. They want him to give the vibe, but they do too much to him to make him into something else, but they want to have both things, you know?
Yeah, I understand the story pissing off a whole bunch of people. It makes sense to me. I don't know, I find myself preferring linear games to open world games, as I find open world games tend to have a lot of pointless busywork. That's why I wanted to get away from calling it linear. It was more, the railroad was probably the word I wanted. Because plenty of games are linear and awesome. I didn't want to give off the wrong impression. And I totally agree, a lot of open world games are just filled with fucking empty trash. It's just like, sometimes you want an experience that's like tailored to a specific thing so that you know that everything you're doing has a point. Instead of just, I'll go over here and get rid of these 3 bandits and take their selection of low-level pistols and some water. And then, yeah, like,
Yeah, water.
I'm doing things. Meanwhile, in that game, it's like, oh, you know, you go to a room and there's all this designed stuff for you to find because someone built it.
God damn it.
But yeah, like,
What a waste.
Resident Evil 4, we talked about this. Resident Evil 4 is very linear, but it's execution of linearity and the options you have mechanically and how the game interacts with you in a sense. And Resident Evil 8, every time you try and go off script, it gets annoyed with you. It's like, hey,
Stop that. Little tap on the
stop
wrist.
thinking. It's rude. Reminder that Rags is a good boy. All the butt scritches for Ragu.
Oh yeah. Often
Also, hi
neglected.
all.
Hello.
Hello.
Hmm.
I don't know. I find myself preferring. Oh wait, I read that. But I'm curious as to how much you think conveniences matter in a story. At what point do they become a major flaw, and does the number matter? I recently noticed that the Deathly Hallows is full of them. That's what I hear. That the Harry Potter films are actually full of these problems. I've not watched them in so long now that I wouldn't even know.
I don't even think I saw like the last 3 or 4.
It's about, well, we've always said it's about impact and then frequency. So like if you just have 1,000 conveniences that aren't too huge, but are just in a fucking 10-minute story or whatever, it's like, well, that sounds like a death by 1,000 cuts, which is a really nice way of putting it together. However, let's say, Rags, that you were being trained for years in your little storyline to defeat the ancient god Metal Commandeur. He's like this huge god, and he throws things around or whatever. And like you've been training up for like, let's say 3 years, I guess. Just a 3-year storyline of you training, you're getting like magical powers, swords, and you meet those crazy zany characters, it's all great. But you find out, like moments before the fight's coming up, that a big part of what you've learned has been like turned off per se. Like let's say the ability to draw like you draw your power from some kind of like spiritual thing that connects inside you, and you were injured in such a way that it's disconnected it, and it's now made you pretty much incapable of defeating Metal, and you know this. But then you walk up to him, and you're like, well, I gotta fight him to stop him. Metal's like doing his little laugh, because he knows he's gonna win. He's gonna beat you up. But then you fall over, and it knocks your spiritual connection back on, and you defeat Metal.
That's fortunate.
It's someone might be like, that's one convenience. I'd be like, that's a pretty fucking major
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, that's
Yes, it is one convenience. A big one though.
So like, yeah, I don't know. You could be like, well, how much damage does that do? It's like, well. Anyway, moving on. That was just a random example, by the way. I was not at all alluding to anything. Chat, you're nuts. I don't know what you're talking about.
Wait, you're saying I'm not a god? Damn it!
I know, right? People are like, oh, you must be referencing when Mel got drunk and said he was a god. It's like, no.
That's weird. I don't know what you're referencing, but whatever it must be referencing, like surely like that's a catastrophic flaw with the plot, and like that should cause some serious issues with it, right?
Yeah, you'd think watching it, most people would be like, what?
People would be like really upset that that would be a thing. Like that sounds like a pretty serious issue that sounds like really horrible writing.
Well, hence the thought experiment. I was just like, let's think of just a random example, see how it goes.
Yeah. Well, that one was pretty bad, so yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty awful.
But yeah, Deathly Hallows, I don't even know which Harry Potter that is. Is it 5? Like, it's one of the ones that's later than... It's a sub... Goblet of Fire is 4, so it's probably 5, right? Because then it goes the Half-Blood Prince, part 1 and 2, I think. So, yeah.
The half come chug.
No.
What?
You know that feeling when you're working hard and sweating and some kind of drips down between your cheeks and you can't tell if you shotted? That's Chase.
Wow.
Wow. You know, I'm sure Chase would appreciate that. He'd find that amusing.
Completely unrelated, but you know how that guy is treated at the end of Man of Steel for saving that girl's life and she just laughs at him? If they ever remade Hunchback of Notre Dame, I could totally see them making Esmeralda do the same thing to Quasimodo after the sanctuary scene, just being like, yeah, you saved me, but ew.
That was another take from chat, wasn't it? That really fucking annoyed me, especially. It was like, Rags points out, like, what a dick move. This guy, like, clearly put himself in major danger, and he's like, let's go to a ball game, and you laugh at him? What the hell? And then someone's like, wow, Rags, just because you save someone's life doesn't mean they owe you, like, sex or something. It's just like, that's an interpretation.
Yeah.
What
If someone saves your life, go to a ball game with them. Okay? Just one. It's pretty
because
chill.
you already know that they're an incredible person. You know, you've already had it confirmed that they're amazing.
Like, it's not gonna cost you that much. And you know what? If you really hate the ball game and you really don't want to spend time with them, maybe they're smelly. You don't have to laugh at them. All right, you can be like, I appreciate the offer, and
Yeah.
I'm forever grateful for what you did. I just, you know, I'm
It's not looking for someone right now, and I just
yeah, like after what
or-
happened, I'm honestly, it's a bit existential having a building fall on you. Like I need time. It's like
Yeah.
simple as that.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. That's an interesting question here, I think. Please address Rex and Mauler if convenience goes as far as characters conveniently ignore everything that happens around them in order for a specific event to happen, even though these already established characters are known as smart and competent, destroy the writing.
I don't know about destroy the writing, but that's definitely not good when you have
Definitely,
an issue like that. Yeah.
It's definitely
Like,
a
if you have a
category.
yeah.
It's characters have to forget stuff to make things happen is never a good sign.
There's a reason that passive perception is indeed a D&D statistic.
Did we nuke the Duke at the end of RE8? Hashtag Duke Nukem.
Oh yeah, I think that was the thing I was gonna bring up. Like, is he dead?
Well, I
Can
guess
he die?
we'll find out in RE9. I'm sure he'll turn up and he'll be like, his like little carriage is a bit charred, and he's like, "Yes, I had some trouble there, Ethan." And I'm saying Ethan because Ethan will just be back for some reason.
Bon voyage, Ethan.
Ethan is a Chad. How dare you? I don't even. Why would you even say that?
More like a chode, eating it, alright?
Oh. Nice one, bro.
Thanks, man.
Hi, Chase. Despite how everyone bullies you on EFAP, you're still my favorite guest. Aw. You got more Chase content coming right up. We got the Mortal Kombat EFAP movies will be very soon.
Oh.
Chase is in all of it. This is a really funny edit. Alright, just between us and this mini, okay? This is edit where we're about to start and John hasn't downloaded it yet. And he's like, "Oh shit, I need to download it." And so Das Bullshit like does the edit of fast forward until he has, you know? But he plays between then for one moment, and it's literally just Chase going, "So I really want to talk to you guys about the like names of anime or something," and then it just fast forwards again. I think you guys are gonna have fun with that. Look forward. What's wrong with Doom Eternal's story?
I don't remember it.
I don't know. I didn't
Remember
play
it's
it.
fucking weird and crazy and fucking nonsense and all kinds of weird shit.
I'm afraid I have no references. That's another game. I just need to play, but I don't know if I ever will now. It feels like it's I missed my chance to give it a shot, and I've just got no drive, you know.
And then magic bullshit happens.
I wonder if people would make the same claims. Like, it's Doom. It doesn't need to have a good story. Not saying you are, Chad. Don't worry. I was just thinking out loud,
Also,
as I do.
I don't care about Doom Eternal.
No. Invincible has a suspicious amount of vocal songs. Oh, vocal songs?
Huh.
I hope we're not looking at, you know, Snyder Cut levels. I'm just saying. I hope. Doom Sausage Man tried to warn us all. He did indeed. RE7 was written by the guy who wrote Fear. That's interesting. If only RE7 were designed by the guy who designed Fear. That'd have been...
Did Fear have good writing, or was it just a good game?
All I remember is mechanically it was really impressive. I'm not sure about the story. The best comparison is Haunted House Roller Coaster. Oh, to describe RE8, I guess?
Kind of. Like, I see
Kind
what
of.
you're getting at when you say that. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Join the stream to hear Mauler say Harry Potter has big flaws. Gosh, am I happy that this is finally being addressed. I mean, I thought I was like saying that I don't remember it, but soft magic universe like Harry Potter should never focus on using magic. Lord of the Rings does it fine, Harry Potter does not. like I don't even know where to begin with Harry Potter and its magic system. It's like I don't even know how it works off memory. It's like
I think it absolutely probably falls apart after you start introducing. Oh, and by the way, we have this thing. Oh, and by the way, there's this too. Oh, and we also have this. Oh, and this thing. And you're like, fuck. How does a society function?
how do people
Everything is
create
insanely
spells?
magical.
And what like the 3 spells that are banned and Avada Kedavra is like kills people. I'm curious
Yeah.
if you could just like create spells. Is there like variations like Avada Kedavra and it's like it causes an explosion next to the person instead? I don't know.
Avada Kedavra, where it just makes brooms explode.
Yeah, and I was because I think doesn't Snape invent the Crucio curse or something? Like he's the one who made it, the one that's like torture or something like that. And I remember thinking to myself like, wow, Snape's not even that old, and he created like one of like.
There's no way someone wouldn't have created a torture curse. Like wizards have been around for what, a gajillion, billion years?
So this is where I kind of want to probably avoid saying anymore because I'd have to rewatch them to know. I know someone's gonna be like, actually, and I'll be like, yeah, I don't remember a lot about Harry Potter. Like, fair enough.
Wow, not a real fan.
What
Yeah.
determines their power at levels? Is it like knowledge?
Yeah, like how do you get stronger? Because if like with swordsmanship, you like, oh, you train, you learn techniques and control of your weapon and hand-eye coordination that you hone over time, and there's treatises on how you fight and the different fighting styles, and then the physical training, the exercising, like you can understand what that is. And sometimes with magic systems, there's an aspect of how do you get better? What do you actually, how can one wizard be more powerful than the other? How does that work, you know?
Oh, apparently Snape made a slashy curse.
Slashy curse.
The bleedy one, because he was the half-blood prince, right?
Yes.
So, and he made the bleedy curse, and the bleedy curse was in that book.
It covers the opponent in non-lethal lacerations. Oh my god. I just remember being a spooky curse. I mean, that's that's certainly not going to be one that they chill with. Like, it covers your opponent in slashes, I assume.
Yeah, I feel like that wouldn't be very sporting in a wizard's duel.
I feel
Were
like
they
they'd
like-
probably not teach the kids that one.
Yeah.
People excited for
Also,
Shadow
you have
Warrior.
knives, so.
Yeah. People excited. Oh, nice voice crack. People excited for Shadow Warrior 3. It looks like it'll be like the new Doom gameplay wise, and I'm kind of hyped for it. I haven't even heard anything about Shadow Warrior 3, so I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Also, I'm realizing with this minor mention of Harry Potter, there is a shit ton of people in chat talking about Harry Potter who know Harry Potter. You guys are all nerds.
You know how to Harry Potter?
It's okay, guys. Harry Potter was super influential for this generation. It's okay. I don't blame you.
This is
But
why
is it good?
when
That's the
we were
question.
talking earlier, I forget if it was in a recording or not. I think we were talking about wizards, and I said that because when we hear wizards, you think of Gandalf, and I think of Merlin.
Yes, and then a lot of people might think of Dumbledore.
Well, yeah, I was saying, I think that in a post-Harry Potter world, when people say wizard, they will think of Harry Potter. That will be what wizard like means to them. So
Yeah, maybe,
that's
yeah.
why. Which is Wizards is a
gonna-
strange movie. It is, but I would highly recommend everyone go see Ralph Bakshi's 1973 animated film Wizards. It is weird. We should watch it. It's fun.
That was with that was Shad we were talking to about that, I think. That was before or during the Mask of Zorro EFAP
It was
movies, which by the way,
1977. Yeah.
be fun to get that one out too, guys. We watched the Mask of Zorro for EFAP movies. It was good shit.
Yes.
Mark Hamill was in that. Wow, Mark
My
Hamill was in
God.
Wizards. He was Sean,
Oh, of course.
the little fairy guy.
Well, when you walk past the crypt, a zombie bursts out of it to signify it's open. All right. So I think this is when this is on the why Outlast though? There are other horror games with no weapons where you run and hide, and frankly, Outlast is terrible. Why compare it to Outlast? I'm assuming that was Chase that brought up Outlast. I can't remember.
Might have.
But yeah, you won't. I don't typically bring up Outlast. I didn't like that game at all.
Is it because
Take
you're a
drugs
bigot?
to enjoy the game more. Chase face. I mean, it's probably applicable to a lot of stuff, you know. You know what they say? Drugs are good for you.
Wait a
That's
minute.
true.
That's all
If
they
drugs
say.
weren't good for you, then how come there's so many doctors?
Exactly.
Ba-ba-da-ba. Oh, hello.
Matt Smith will be playing a Targaryen in House of the Dragon, the Game of Thrones prequel, in case you're a fan of his. I've always thought his Doctor was fine. I've never been big into Matt Smith's Doctor, and I did see quite a bit of it. As for him being in that show, I hope he is... I hope it goes well, I don't know. You can see photos from House of the Dragon now, like Matt Smith wearing a white wig, in case you care. No. Again, I hope it works out. I just... Man, what a challenge you have trying to regain favor with the Game of Thrones fandom, you know? It's like, we got a new show for you guys. It's like, oh, do you? You haven't finished the other one yet. He looks ridiculous in the wig. Well, you know what? Maybe they're gonna apply some CGI to it in post, and it'll look great. They'll put some Vaseline. No complaints allowed.
Zorlin.
Werewolves or lichen designs are disappointing. Yeah, I agree.
Yep.
I didn't feel like I got... I was kind of just waiting to finally see like a more classic werewolf, and I felt like I never did.
Yeah, they were just like weird animal-y villages people, but with big teeth, sort of. They kind of hairy. There wasn't any...
Oh no.
I thought what they were going to do was like, that's an early stage, and as we progress through the game, we'll get to more like wolf-type people, and then like a full-on werewolf type will meet, you know?
That would have been an idea. Because that's what
Picture it
happens
now.
in... Because that's what happens in Resident Evil 4, where the further you go through, the more... for the longer they've been infected, and the longer that they've sort of had it, which means that the Plagas have different forms, and they do different things based on, you know, how matured the
Yeah.
Plagas actually are.
Yeah, you know, you're going through the woods, and you kill maybe some Randys, and then everything is pretty dark. And there's like no enemies around. You're like, what's going on? What is this? And then you hear the howl, and you're like, oh shit. And maybe you see the silhouette of it, and then it runs off, and you're like, oh god, what is that? It's like a big boy.
So a question.
Because
Oh, go ahead.
you know the big lad you fight, well, big lad of the like 3 big lads, not Urias, but the bigger wolf ones.
Uh-huh.
Like, if you asked me to describe that, I'd be like a hairy creature. Someone goes, well, no, werewolf, and I'd be like,
Is it though?
hairy
I
creature.
don't know about that,
I'm
yeah.
sticking by it.
A question I wanted to ask. Obviously, we try to keep standards for writing consistent. How does this apply to, say, musicals, where a lot of dialogue tends to be stuff that people wouldn't organically say? Feel free to gush about once more, with feeling as an example.
I can't talk about that in front of these two, but you should know there is very strong narrative. That episode is fucking glorious. They put a lot of effort into why everyone says what everyone says in that episode. It's really cool. Also, poor Cletus, dude. He's just beating himself up. Look at this.
Wait, what? Why can't you
Please,
talk?
no!
Wait, why can't you talk about musicals? I'm confused.
Well,
So in musicals, they'll
are-
often be very explicit with how they feel, and if we're going to be criticizing dialogue for being overt, would
Oh.
we not do that with musicals? But the thing with musicals is, depending on what one you're watching. Also, please appreciate Cletus right now. He's having he's doing bad for the hillbilly name. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
So a lot of the time it'll be contextual with musicals that I'm assuming you guys know, but like a lot of musicals will run where people don't hear any of it. Like so like, you know, like Scrubs, I think, did a musical, and you know, a lot of shows do, and they sort of do the song or whatever, and like it's unclear exactly who heard what and whether or not it was in their heads, and you know, you have to kind of work with it and judge it through context or the IP or whatever. Let's just say there is a time where it's done in something that I like a lot, and they do it really, really, really well.
Oh,
He's doing his best.
got it.
So yeah, you know, Sweeney Todd, that's a musical me and Ranks watched, actually.
I watched that in the cinema.
I didn't, but I
Ah.
like it. I like it. It's neat. And yeah, there's I think different musicals are going to try
That's a lot of dirt.
different amounts of effort into making the lyrics sound a lot more like reasonable dialogue as well. Maybe EFAP will cover a musical someday.
Maybe.
Baby.
I'm not against it. I don't have anything against musicals. It's just that in that universe, people just break out into song, and that's just a thing that happens, and it's a weird genre thing, you know?
Yup.
Supergirl and Flash did a crossover musical. Oh boy.
A lot of IPs do a musical. It's like almost like a checklist thing. It's like, yeah.
Did you see the Warhammer 3 gameplay reveal? I have not yet. No.
No, I haven't.
Nor. Hi, Mola. Hello. Hi, Rags. You precious doggo.
Hi.
How friendly. You should check out the RE4 Hookman trailer. It's very similar to RE8.
Huh. All right.
I've never heard of it. Or maybe I have and I didn't realize, but yeah, alright.
Do you think
chat.
Resident Evil Village could have had a day-night cycle for the werewolves and vampires? If you did, probably the best way to implement it would be like what is it? Not Dead by Daylight, Dying Light, where if you are out during the day, the werewolves are less wolf-ish. They're less. They have less of that canine component to them, and they're more like the Ganados from 4. And the vampires don't even come out at night at all. But if you're out at night and you aren't in a safe house or a safe location, then the werewolves will transform further. They'll get more deadly, and they will. Then you'll have vampires that can come out, which can get deadlier and deadlier as the game progresses to ramp up difficulty. Yeah. But yeah, your idea is a good one, but they didn't do that because this game is lame and not creative at all.
Yeah, there's loads of things they could have done. It's vampires and werewolves. Like, hello. Everybody's done loads of things with them.
Hey, Monk, thanks for the raid.
Apparently Capcom said RE7 was too scary, so they tuned it down in RE8. What a crock of bull. Yeah. It's RE7. I mean, this is the thing. RE8 scares mainly come from, there's a little bit in the beginning, and then there's the spook house. That's about it, I'd say. RE7 is a lot in the intro, and then there's the spooky room. That's really all I can recall in terms of the
What
spookiest
spooky
thing
room?
yet.
Oh,
It's
the puppet place.
Oh, well, so Resident Evil 8, it was the puppet place. Resident Evil 7, it was like the little girl's room, if you remember.
Yeah, I remember that part. Yeah, that was scary.
Yeah, and
That was spooky.
the idea that they want to tone it down so they don't want to be too spooky, it's like, okay. Whatever you want, guys. I don't know.
Like, okay, yeah, I mean, that's fine, I guess.
I've just been called a massive, and I'm a German. That's very offensive, a monk. You will hear
Yeah,
from my lawyers.
Can the truth truly be called offensive, man?
Shut. I thought you were on my side. God.
No.
No.
Chat. Other RE games did this stuff bad as well. It's still bad. Stop using this terrible argument. Oh,
Yeah.
thank you, Super Chat. So fucking true. Remember, the first outing we had with this argument was probably the Godzilla stuff, and we're all just like, what the
Yes.
hell is happening, guys? It's like, Godzilla's always poopy. It's like, guys, it's not a good argument.
Yeah, this isn't great.
And once again, because I just don't fucking believe people who say it, like, the idea is like, oh gosh, a Godzilla movie that makes sense? I'd hate that. It's just like, no, you wouldn't.
Oops.
Lying. You could even have goof that makes sense, if you know what I mean. Like, Resident Evil could still be silly and also actually be, like, meaningful. I don't know.
You're a liar.
I think that should be the challenge. Writers, ho. Did you ever go to the Doctor Who experience when it was open in Cardiff, Mola? I visited that 8 years ago when it was open. I don't think I ever did. I almost did at one point, but the thing is, my relationship with Doctor Who has always been very tacit. It's like, oh, no, oh, okay, no. No. It's because I really like lots of stuff in there, but then also I kind of think Doctor Who sucks in a lot of ways. So it's complicated.
There's a funny funny one in my chat. Rex, can you please explain critical race theory to Ethan in Heisenberg's voice?
No,
Oh,
maybe
God.
maybe another time.
Ethan's like, I'm really curious though.
So I want to learn.
Worst Harry Potter movie for you? For me, it was GOF, the fourth one, Goblet of Fire. I just don't have strong memories of any of them to say which one was the worst, if you know what I mean. Do you guys have a worst Harry Potter?
No, because I didn't even watch all of them. Not any of them.
Probably the Prisoner of Azkaban, because that's the fucking time travel one.
From what I understand, isn't that like kind of a fan favorite-y one? Let's see if chat get all upset
I
or
don't
not.
know.
I don't know.
Like, kind of legit, don't really know.
Bing, 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 bing. Ah, Indigo Gaming is in chat. Hello there.
Hello.
Hello.
Time
Someone said,
travel
"Ooh, that's
one.
people's favorite." Yeah, well,
Add
oh, there you go.
it to the list, Rags. It's funny because yeah, like off the top of my head, I'm like, yeah, do people typically say anything else about any of the others? It's like I don't know. I don't know if I don't remember. The Prisoner of Azkaban is the one I always hear people talk about. It's like, do you ever hear people saying like Chamber of Secrets? That was my favorite. Like, people just don't say that. I wonder why.
Like, how interesting that in your world building you decided to make like a prison, and the wizard prison is a place where like Dementors, like you basically you're
Annihilated.
tortured and everything. Like,
I
fuck.
don't remember.
Ship's
It's funny.
still
It's
going.
like if you ask me what the Dementors do, I'm like, were they people who fetch prisoners back, or were they actually like they wardens? I
think
can't
they
remember.
were in the. I think they were in the prison. I think. But I think my favorite was Chamber of Secrets. I think.
Oh, there you go. Big snack.
But I can't remember like almost
damn, I did
anything
it.
about all that stuff. But yeah, it's like Dumbledore gives her a time travel device so that she could attend more classes. I'm like, wow, Dumbledore, what a prick.
Dumbledore's dumb.
Dumble idiot.
Tell Rex I support him and he is an excellent doggo. Some people have things against him
Hooray.
because he's confident and outspoken, which intimidates their insecurities.
Oh.
That might be it. It
Mhm.
might be it.
Yeah, he's confident enough to say Prisoner of Azkaban is not the best Harry Potter movie. Can you believe
Mhm.
such tismry?
In Prisoner of Azkaban, they at least try to explain time travel. They then proceed to forget they have fucking time travel and all the films following.
Yeah. Time. It's
Well, that was gonna
like
be my
we could-
follow-up. If ever we went over how it works, I'd be like, did they use it? What's the?
It's like this is the time we use time travel, guys. This is it. We got to use it to free Sirius Black and save a fucking eagle horse. This is how we need to do it. And then when like Sirius Black dies, spoiler alert, they don't use it to save his life, or like they don't. I don't even need to explain how this fucks everything up, and that's such
Oh,
a
well, yeah.
massive catastrophic issue with the series and that in particular that you just
don't think-
you can't get past it.
I don't think it matters how it's explained. As soon as you've established she's able to do multiple classes at once with it, you're like, oh, your world's destroyed. Like, however that works, you could apply it to so many other things. And I know, because I'm pretty sure there are people who are like, no, it does make sense if you blah, blah, blah. And it's like, well, I've not watched it, but I'm pretty sure that's going to make some issues. Or at least I have watched it, but not in a while.
Wrote this seat down. That was a pretty crazy seat in Isaac. I finished an Eden run for the first time. That's pretty cool.
Judas is bestest.
Eden is the randomized character.
No one likes randomized.
Fuck you, man.
Oh, I didn't do nothing, mortal.
Oh no, Isaac, you're turning to things.
What are your thoughts on Godzilla vs. Kong and the new Mortal Kombat movie? Have you seen them both? We have not seen Godzilla vs. Kong. We are going to set up to do that
Not yet.
relatively soon. We have seen Mortal Kombat. We watched the 1995 movie and the 2021 movie back to back, Mulan style, and you're gonna get us reacting to it in the next couple of days, hopefully.
Oh, there you go. No
I
Rex.
guess
Oh god.
the brief take is the new mall combat is kind of shit.
Yeah, it's not good.
Yeah, I don't. I guess I won't say any more
There's
because
some-
you'll see all of our takes in it soon
Yeah.
enough.
No Rex, it's fine. It's not like in the last two films they need to collect a series of items in a very quick time to save as many people as possible. Time travel wouldn't help in any way.
Yeah, it's insane. Like what? Because I think when she was making all the novels and she realized how big of a hit they were, she's just, I guess I'll do the next one. It has that feeling. It has the feel that there's no overarching story or plan. It's like, what am I gonna do this book? And then what am I gonna do this book? And she just sort of makes it up as she goes. That's how it feels. I don't know if that's what actually happened, but that's certainly how it comes across.
Mm-hmm. Rags, you're a good lad. Here's a treat. Keep on.
Oh, thank you.
That it dies.
And they break all the traveling devices in the 5th book. Don't worry, they totally fixed it, guys. Oh, epic.
Remember early EFAP when you guys were talking about how 4 to 5, like cast people would be good and anything more would get unmanageable. Hence, why I think it should be like a point of commendableness that we managed to maintain a pretty decent conversational flow with 9 people.
Absolutely.
It was
That went
not
well.
the easiest thing ever, and of course, some people talked more than others. But I mean, of all the ways it could have gone, I think it went pretty well.
Yes, absolutely.
Apparently, Capcom said RE7 was. Oh, I read that one already. RE Engine actually stands for Reach for the Moon Engine, not Resident Evil Engine. Stupid, ain't it? Reach for the Moon Engine.
What?
All right. I guess is that like in a sense of like, reach high, do great things.
Yeah,
I
the
don't-
old phrase is reach for the moon. Even if you miss, you'll land among the stars or something like that.
What if you end up
Or
back
shoot
on
for
Earth?
the moon.
Doesn't
Because of
count.
gravity, it's possible.
Yeah. Earth doesn't let us escape it that easily. I'm still catching up, so this seems to come a bit late, but Longman, I beg you, say Josh Sweden. Not even 3 times fast, pretty please, just for little old drunk me. Josh Sweden, yeah, there you go.
Epic.
Funny enough, when I was showing Fortia Buffy and Angel, he would call Josh Sweden Joe Sweden.
Joe
he was,
Sweden.
He was just having fun with it. I don't think he like actually made the mistake. He was just memeing. Joe
he
Sweden.
I think he lives in Sweden, actually. It was just a lie.
Disgusting.
Well, he probably is fucking living and hiding in Sweden now with everything. that
Joe
happened.
of Sweden.
Joe of Sweden.
I'm not trying to be a movie. I'm trying to be a light gun game, which they have made just as many RE light gun games as they've made mainline games. A light gun game?
Oh, light guns? Those were a thing on the PS2.
Oh.
I actually have some of those. With some of those arcade games. And you use them on your TV. I actually don't know if they work on flat screen TVs. It was pretty fun just having those. I have like 2 of those light guns. Probably somewhere in my dad's garage still. They're pretty good. It's fun stuff.
Interesting.
Hi Mootle, hi Rags, hi Longman. Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
Also, I'll be back in just a moment.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. No, it can't be bad. It has thick vampire dommy mommy. Oh. You can still enjoy her.
No.
Do it.
Aw.
it. Anyways, Rags, what do you think? Oh, he's gone.
A second ago.
Oh, well, they said, what do you think of RE2 Remake? Improvement or suffers similar problems to 8? So you would have gotten a whole bunch of RE8 Remake stuff in this stream anyway, so that
Yeah.
works out.
Oh, jeez.
Hey, guys. Hello.
Hello. Hi.
Given the puzzles here are pretty simple, was wondering if you had any general insight on creating good puzzles or mini mysteries for fiction.
Well, the first tip I give you is don't put the solution right next to the puzzle.
In a note form.
Yeah, that's one thing
It's
that
a
came to
bad
mind.
chungus. I feel like that would be its like own whole breakdowny thing, like how to make puzzles. That's a tough one. In fact, if I was set to write like a I don't know, a detective thing, or even just like a Lara Croft or a Uncharted like tomb puzzly thing, I'd be like, time to go and consume all puzzly related things to do with this to figure out what makes good puzzles. Because all I know is that the ones in RE8 barely qualify as puzzles, and it seems that that's the idea. Is the more time goes on, the easier puzzles will get, because you don't want to have players struggle too hard. You want to try and make them go like, oh my god, I'm so smart, I did the thing.
Yes. Also,
Because
Mr.
it's
Cheer here.
mainline.
Peter Pettigrew definitely saw Ron jerk off. I guess that's a thing.
Yes. Well, Peter Pettigrew was turned into a rat, right? And there's Ron's rat.
Ah.
So if he kept a rat in his room, then yep, that's
Penis.
nasty. But yeah, it's kind of hard to sort of give general advice on puzzles, I would say. But
What the fuck?
if we had more time to like look around it,
I have a tiny Isaac as a buddy. You don't have a stream open, don't you?
I do not.
I've never seen that. Are those new? That's hilarious. What do they do?
What are you looking at?
I have like a tiny Isaac as a buddy, or apparently they're called micro friends. Someone in my chat says. What they do? It's the micro cell or whatever you picked up. Oh, really? Okay. That's funny. He's so happy. He's like, yay, adventure.
I hate it when you're happy. We have to stop this.
No, the guy on the that's following me. I'm still crying.
Oh, okay. For a second, I was so panicked.
Hey.
Lorm.
Wait a minute. Hello.
Hello.
Playing Hit and Run, and also Isaac.
Yes, indeed. Very
Yeah.
nice.
Um,
Frong.
Have you got the stream up, Fringy?
I do, yeah.
So if you scroll, can you see what we did in the opening 2 hours?
Oh, did you cover that Reddit post?
Yeah, I was gonna say, since you're here, did you want to? Oh, you don't have to be log or anything, but your thoughts and feelings on that post?
Like, god damn, some people just hate rags. And then, like, in order to justify that hatred, you just being completely disingenuous or like making erroneous claims, and I don't get it, man. Like, I think what I found the most frustrating in that post was the implication that like Rags sucks at arguing, and that other people always need to come and bail him out. Rags is very good at argumentation. He's like he is well above average when it comes to being able to express his thoughts coherently. Whether or not you agree with them is one thing, but like, god damn, like Rags is good at making arguments. I don't. Yeah, Rags is a good boy. Yeah, basically.
Yeah, a lot of our coverage of it was me and basically being like, so this thing that says Rags' character is terrible is not true. Like, let's go over why.
And just like, I don't know why anybody would think that Rags hadn't actually played Resident Evil 8, considering how in-depth his claims were about that game. And then, like, I think even in the Reddit post, they said that he had only played 4, and it's like, dude, Mauler and Rags streamed 5. What are you, like, what?
They claim simultaneously that Rags spoke for 40%, but he also had nothing to say.
Not true.
And he basically, the claim was like that he would wait for us to make points, and then he would just echo them.
Yeah.
It's just like, man, what were you listening to? It's like, it's so unfair.
I would bet that the person who wrote that post is still pissed off about Atler. Like, I wonder if that's the case.
Well, yeah, maybe they really liked Resident Evil 8, who knows?
Well, I think in the post they said that they thought it was bad. And it was funny because they were trying to say things like, yeah, I agree that, like, one bullet killing instantly, that's good. It's like, that's not... We didn't say that. That's not what we agree with.
Yeah, that's not even what I said. I just said, like, if you had 10 shots into the head to kill versus 1, I would take the 1.
I am back.
Hello.
Hello.
So
War meeting of the
hello.
EFAP hosts and metal. Oh man.
What?
When you
Ringo is here, and he was sharing his thoughts on that thread we covered, right?
Fungo. Yeah, it was pretty bad.
when you plan on bringing Fringy on Friday Night Tights and Rex on the Adam and Sid show, I
As if that's like
I can't do that.
I organized that.
Lawless decision.
I didn't know that was my responsibility. I see what I can do, I guess.
Go for it, metal.
I forgot that Marge runs, dude.
Yes, she runs like a zombie or something.
Off topic.
Yeah, we also we
sorry,
went
go
over it, but also Friggy, like it's not even just the post itself; it's the fact that it had like over 110 upvotes within like
that's
hours.
really disappointing. Like, what the hell?
Yeah, like we expect better is kind of where that goes. Really fucking lame.
Again, get over Atler. Holy shit! Like, get over it.
I can say it better myself.
Off topic, but one thing that bugs me involving discourse is when people say, unless you make something in this field, you can't criticize it. Doesn't this unintentionally invalidate a lot of the critics who praise them? How do they not see the irony? Yeah, it's just a stupid thing to say in general.
Yeah, because
People who make
everybody
that
always
argument
says,
weren't
I
smart to
don't
begin
need to
with.
be able to... Well, yeah, because everybody always points out, I don't need to, like, be a chef to know that a piece of shit on my plate is a piece of shit. Like, it's not... You don't need to... What is the value in sharing anything that you've made with anybody if their opinion is irrelevant if they are not also a creator?
We had that's another one of the retarded arguments from chat. Someone said like, "How many games have you made, Mola?" It's like, what the hell?
Like, is this 2009? Like, why are people still making this argument? What have you made?
I've made precisely 0 terrible video games.
You know what?
Exactly.
Fucking, unless you've made also a criticism video, you can't judge mine. That's how it
shit.
works from now
See how
on.
that works.
Aha, got you now.
Got him.
It was it reminds me of when Red Letter Media were covering obviously all the stuff Brie Larson said, where she was like, she's not interested in 40-year-old white guy's opinion. They highlighted like a lot of the positive reviews for The Room, the movie she won an Oscar for, from like 40-year-old white guys and stuff, and it's like, so
You gonna give that award back?
yeah, like I'd be curious to point that out to Brie Larson myself. Just be like, do you? That's kind of tangentially related, but in the same sense, like as Mel was bringing up, it's like, oh fuck, like who cares about your opinion? You've never made a movie. And it's like, what if I had agreed with you? What if I had praised it? Would you then be bringing that up? It's like, I don't think so.
And does that mean that as soon as I make something, it's like my argument's more valid than yours for all time?
Well, yeah, imagine, so, you know the person who said, how many games have you made, Mola? Imagine Neil Druckmann joined this fucking call and was like, yes, I'm more of an authority on this than you, Mola, and person in chat, you agree, right? They'd be like,
It's funny because it is argument from authority, because you're saying, well, he's done it, therefore he's more correct, as opposed to the idea of bringing somebody in who has authority is they're probably more likely to be correct because they have more knowledge. It's not who they are, it's what they say. Still, that's all that matters. I feel like that, yeah, the easy workaround, more, you just gotta write a screenplay, and then you're allowed to...
and it could be like,
you.
Chris Stuckman's, and I'll be like, well, it's a screenplay, so shut the fuck up.
Screenplay, how many screenplays have you written?
Finish your book, Fringy, so we'll finally have cred.
Yeah, I just could have finished it sooner, and then everybody will be like, oh, see, he's an author, now his opinion matters more.
I like the idea that we all separate, so like, Fringy makes his book, I go and try and write a screenplay, Rags is like, I don't know, tries to make like music or something, and then we all your game, we all come back, and you're like, what did you do, Mel? And he's like, oh, I made Guardians of the Galaxy 4, it's me. Like, what? And you're like, yeah, I was just, I was looking around, experimenting, and see what you guys think.
Don't really know what happened.
And it's like amazing, and we all love it to death, and then they like come on for Guardians 5, and you're like, I want to stream, really.
I just love streaming. Cheers,
I
though.
appreciate it, but you know, you guys, good luck
You
with
wanna
that
bring in
MCU of
Star
yours.
Wars yeah, good luck with that there MCU. It's going great so far. WandaVision won awards at the MTV, you know, People's Choice for Best Fight. Fucking unreal.
Yeah.
That
The
is.
best fight. It
Metalist.
was so awful.
Metalist James Gunn confirmed.
Yeah,
You knew it.
That
guys.
sounds like Metal's like, nah, I don't really want to stream.
He,
Fuck your
he
movie.
stands perfectly still on set. Nobody could see him.
Released a metal cut.
Yeah, man. I imagine you had some character scenes in there for Batman. You know,
Yeah.
I would watch it. Where are we? You're missing the point. The game even tells you, Mauler, he was in Heisenberg's factory planting explosives, even when you saw him at the lake. I don't know what we would have.
Wait,
What
Chris?
What does that contradict that we talked about?
I do not know.
I think they're making fun of. Well,
I'm not sure if it's like a legit
Yeah, I
a
don't-
point or a counter. Oh, I think that.
makes
So
sense.
I was saying, where was he the whole game? I guess they're saying you're missing the point. He was at the factory the whole game. No, he wasn't. He was in the village with his little pack of computers and shit. We see that again in like a different cave near the village. Like the idea, there's no fucking way. Everywhere we went, all over that place, we didn't spot a single member of his team, and neither them spotting us. It's
Yeah,
like
the place
bullshit.
the place we
Very
move in is
small.
not very big. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not. And the idea is like, no, they're all busy planting explosives. Like, oh, whatever. Why is it that they didn't call in an airstrike? Why would they have just gone in to plant explosives? Was that ever addressed?
I don't know.
Maybe Chris is like, no, we can't. For Ethan.
For Ethan,
come
It's
on.
Ethan.
he's out of his
Shove up.
depth.
Oh, could you imagine that if they have him be like in the next game? He's like talking to Leon. He's like, Ethan is the bravest man I ever knew.
He probably will do
He
that.
probably will, because they're OC. Ethan is the little OC. He's so
Well, I guess
awesome.
has he transcended OC into like actually a legitimate character?
Well, it's not even. I guess OC's not quite right. He's such a like insert, like an audience almost insert, right? Because he's like a nothing character.
yeah. He doesn't.
Because
yeah.
you get even like less of Ethan in Resident Evil 7, by the way, than you got in 8. He's just a nothing. You
God.
get flashbacks of like him and Mia being like, "We're in love," and then he's like, "Mia, where'd you go?" And then she's like, she sends you a letter saying like, "Don't try to find me" or whatever. Or I think the message wasn't sent by her; it was sent by someone at the house. It's like, "Come to the house, Louisiana," blah blah blah, and then you're like, "Okie dokie," and then it's a spooky house.
Spooky house.
All it does is make Chris dumber, because the only reason Chris knows Ethan is because Ethan was willing to traverse potentially great distances to rescue a loved one in his family. And Chris is like, well, if I kill Mia in front of him and take his daughter, he totally won't come and get me.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. I never understood the logic. He's like, if I told you the truth, you wouldn't stop. It's like, you killed his wife and took his child. Why is that
the events
better?
of RE7, he did all of that shit to save a loved one. That's how you met Chris. Why do you not think he's gonna come for you?
I don't
And
know.
then-
You'd get involved if I told you, so I thought it would be better to keep you completely in the dark. That would definitely make you content.
I could have just explained this to you, given you Rose, and took you both into protective custody.
Yep. What's funny
But
is,
no.
if you told Ethan in that scene, knowing Ethan, despite being an idiot, he probably would have picked up Chris's gun and started firing more and more into Miranda. He'd be like, she's not dead, she's a fucking mold thing, get fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, fire.
This is not enough, Chris. You should know better, because of the amount of things that... Listen, Chris, do you remember
that
Resident Evil
time
5?
Albert Wesker? You
Yeah, it's
dumped
like
him in a volcano?
everything in Resident Evil 5 had like 7 stages.
Chris!
Any plans on covering Army of the Dead as Snyder's new movie, and it's really bad?
I don't want to watch it.
Army of the Dead.
I was talking to Maul about this yesterday. Dave Bautista said watching Zack Snyder direct made him confident that he could direct someday. I find that really amusing. It's like an
Yeah.
accidental ode.
It's like, wow, Zach, you make it look so simple.
So wait a minute.
I don't
It's
know
like,
what
why, you did get that impression with James Gunn? It's like, Nah, he made it look real difficult. Because of the amount of things he would do, I guess.
Yeah, James Gunn gives a shit. Well, it's not that Chris. It's not. I guess it's not
It's
that.
not that Zack Snyder doesn't
It's not Zack didn't care. It's just that he's bad.
Just good old-fashioned incompetence. But that doesn't exist in the art world, you see.
I can't believe that he
be
came out
incompetent.
saying Warner Brother tortured me. It's like, they gave you $70 million to re-release your movie.
Well, man, they could torture me all day.
Yeah, if that's what
I mean,
torture
in
looks
fairness,
like in Warner Brothers.
He kind of tortured them a little with his movies. Like, come on.
Well, I would say that the damage that's been inflicted on Warner Brothers as a company is pretty substantial, thanks to
Yeah, dude, they
never
could have
should
been
indulged.
like alternate timeline. And honestly, the funny thing is, if they'd given it all to J.J. Abrams in the beginning, they probably would be on top of the world to a degree right now.
They probably would be successful. Yeah, J.J. Abrams knows how to make stuff that's successful.
Yeah, like, don't worry, chat. We think his stuff sucks, but Zack Snyder manages to suck while also having like close to flops sometimes.
The problem as well, though, with is like J.J. Abrams isn't trying to be anything more than what it is. Like
Well, his main goal seems to be satisfy the audience. That's
Yeah,
like J.J.
like-
Abrams' thing.
audience, just sort of mass appeal. Like he's not coming
Yeah.
out saying, so you see the philosophical implications of the dark side getting the anti-life equation. He isn't doing that.
Yeah, he doesn't. His whole thing is just, yeah, let's just make people smile, get them feeling that this is the thing they love. That's all I gotta do.
Oh, apparently Discovery merged with Warner Brothers. That's or Warner Media. That was like the news today. I'm not sure what that means. Like Discovery Channel, so like, is
They
that?
can discover better directors to make their fucking movies.
Well, I wonder. I guess I would just. That's an interesting thing that like Warner Media is merging with the people who make the nature documentaries. I don't know. Is that? Yeah.
I'm not sure where that's gonna go. But,
I hope this merger scuttles JJ Superman. That ain't happening. The only thing that's gonna happen is that Snyder is not making any more like movies.
Didn't,
part of this universe.
Didn't Warner Brothers spend like $500 million or some shit on JJ?
Yeah, they
the
did.
contract,
It's a big deal.
Boy, oh
Yeah,
boy.
Lots
Yeah,
of
that's
projects, not just Superman. I think there's also Justice League Dark and a few
And
other things.
It's also mentioned like, but JJ ruined Trek and Star Wars. It's like, well, Star Wars. I don't think any of them flopped from JJ, right?
No,
Yeah,
they all made money. And
And
I imagine that the Rise of Skywalker was hurt more by TLJ than itself.
I think if JJ had made the full trilogy, it probably would have been terrible, but like, I think it probably would have been successful, like more so
we'd
critically.
probably still be getting anthology movies.
Yeah, yes, because his TLJ wouldn't have had Luke doing what. That was the thing
Yeah.
that killed it all. Having Luke be that way. That like all the stupid space chase stuff and all the shit like even whatever even Canto Bite, like I don't think any of it is significant as the simple fact that you made Luke not Luke, and that was a huge mistake.
Yep, a lot of people didn't like that.
Like, that's a normie fail. That's like regular people. Like, my dad would be like, "Is that Luke?" Like, I don't remember Luke being like that.
Mm-hmm. I guess that's the thing is it's kind of awkward when people talk about how much they hate like the new direction that JJ's going in. It's like, you know what? This Superman movie is probably going to be more enjoyable than like
The
what
Man
we
of Steel.
had.
Definitely.
It
It would
probably
be hard to
will
beat
better.
Man of Steel. That was really incompetent, and it sucks
Yeah.
because, again, Henry Cavill is like, man, I feel for you. I would like you to.
He is,
have...
yeah, he could have been peak Superman.
Yeah.
Because I mean, he basically looks hard exactly, but also he's demonstrated himself to be a talented actor. You just need the right person, the right material. Again, though, I mean, I agree. Like, it's really cringy that there is a black Superman in the comics that they can use, but they're choosing not to. I don't know what the hell that's about.
So have to see how all this rolls out. I don't doubt that a J.J. Abrams Superman movie will be like poorly written or whatever, but I'll just be surprised if it's as poorly written as Man of Steel.
I guess when you look at what DC's doing going ahead, it seems like Flash is gonna just be like their hard reset, where they're gonna pick and choose the parts that they want to keep and leave out. Because Michael Keaton is like absolutely gonna be in it. I'm pretty sure there are set photos from the original Wayne Manor, like he's gonna be in it, which It honestly seems like that movie's going to be a mess. It seems like it's doing multiverse stuff where they've got like multiple different Batmans and like Supergirls from different universes and stuff coming in.
Indigo just mentioned Damon Lindelof is the one who wrote the end of Lost. He has a horrific record. Yes, he does, and he keeps getting wick.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's I'm telling you, it's who you know. It's who it's who you know.
Isn't it Alex Kurtzman? Isn't he the guy who's written nothing but dog shit?
Well, I think it's who you know, and there's a little bit of did you make money? It's like yes, but my script was terrible. It's like yeah, but you made money. Like, yeah, I guess so. And it's like right then, write this.
So the guy who directed, I don't know if y'all remember a little movie called Mortal Engines that came out a couple years ago.
Yeah, I know that one. Yeah.
Like the biggest flop in cinema history.
Just no one knew what the fuck it was.
Produced by Peter Jackson, the director of that movie. He hadn't done really like anything before. He worked on some stuff in Brain Dead many years ago that Peter Jackson had done, one of his early movies, and I think he was like the VFX director for the King Kong T-Rex fight in the Peter Jackson King Kong movie.
All right.
And then he gets to be the director of Mortal Engines.
$1 million movie.
And gets insane amounts of money, like $200 million movie, and he gets to direct it. And you're like, fucking hell, he was Peter Jackson's friend. So that's how that happened.
Yeah.
Kurtzman is supposedly easy to work with. Well, I mean, I guess there is that element, right? Like, because if people like being around you, that can help a lot more than, like, whether you're good. Because, I mean, there are people who probably don't want to work with Edward Norton, Norton, despite the fact that he's an excellent actor. Which is kind of amusing, because it's like, maybe it's worth the trade-off of not having as much control over your story if you have a guy like that who's proven himself to know what he's doing. Giving you input.
It's so complicated, because if you have a director who's like, no, I'm sure of this, and then your actor's like, no, I'm sure of this, you're like, uh-oh.
Well, it seems like in general, actors don't get a lot of pushback on these things. Like, ultimately, what the director says goes. I mean, yeah, I guess that is how it works, because the director is in charge of the whole production. But
well, I think Edward Norton was a little weird, because I remember reading that he would demand that his version of the scenes get shot, and so they can choose in post, which sounds reasonable on the surface, but when you're trying to get everything done on your timeline, and you have him saying, like, record my scene now, it'd be like,
like,
no.
We have a budget, like, we need to... Yeah, I think wasn't the big one that American History X, like, the cut that came out was not the one the director wanted, it was the one Edward Norton wanted.
I haven't. Have any of you guys seen Mortal Engines out of curiosity?
I have. I think it would make a very good EFAP movies.
All right.
What an interesting movie. Yeah, Hugo Weaving is in it.
Yes.
Just curious, what was it about RE8 game that got you into Fruit multiple times? I was just having fun and I was streaming it.
For me, it was just testing stuff out.
Yeah.
Yeah, even before I'd finished my first playthrough, I was just fucking around with it.
It happens. M once said a good puzzle game is one where you're trying to figure out how to get to the solution, not trying to figure out what the solution even is.
Correct. He said that on an EFAP, and it was a very insightful thing that I've made sure to remember when I think about puzzles. Because this is something that puzzles absolutely can suffer from. Where a puzzle designer might forget that the person who isn't them might not even know what they're supposed to be doing. They don't know what the end goal is supposed to even be. So...
So Fringy is going to stream Soma, right? Oh, here we go again.
Oh, no. No, it's not happening. There'll be other games I'd want to stream. Halo Infinite seems like an obvious one.
I thought you were just gonna say Halo in general, more because you're streaming all the time as a meme. There's so many games I want to stream. Halo sounds good. I want to stream that next.
What about the story, Frankie? Don't you want to absorb that in your own me time?
So, I don't know. Do you feel like you've got a gotcha here?
Oh, like, I don't even think it's close. It's just not something we've been able to lay out thoroughly.
Yeah. I think again, I almost feel like I play it by ear, because there would be games that have stories that I have an investment in, that I would feel compelled to talk about while I was playing it. Like, I could easily see myself while I'm playing Halo commenting on things about the like world building or the characters or things like that, gameplay. Whereas Soma, it's kind of like I'm totally blind to it. I feel compelled to try and absorb it as much as I can on my own. I don't know. It's just intuition. That's all I've got for this one, because there is no argument.
Yeah, because all I would present is the you know, like that Halo game, for example, if Infinite. I know, crazy idea. Imagine it was good, right? And like you ended up streaming it, and it gets like super maybe philosophical or really deep, and they're explaining like what you're feeling about everything and how you think it's fitting in and what you're impressed by and stuff, and then by the end of it, you're like almost blown away by how good that story was. And then everyone in chat was like, "Holy shit, that was something!" And like, hell yeah, it was. It's just like, yeah. I'd be like, well,
That's what Soma would be.
Could be, not would be. And I just that's mainly why I feel so confident in this position. It's just like all I have to argue is that you shouldn't be so sure. That's all.
Yeah, fair enough.
Well, scared to disagree.
Speaking of Mass Effect, I was waiting for anybody to. All right, fine, yeah. Rags, the Mass Effect 3 ending never happened. The series ends with Shepard and the crew having a party in their Citadel apartment. Also, hi,
That
Rags.
sounds. Hey, yeah, that sounds. Yeah.
What's going on with Super Chats from 135? Okay, so the reason I chose this selection today was because it was just on topic with the opening thread, and it was literally like 2 days ago. It made the most sense to me. We have got a backlog. If you like, don't worry, we're gonna get to it all. Like I said, the next EFAP, it'll very likely be us four, possibly. If depends on Metal can make it or whatever, but
I'll be there for sure. I just don't know if I have time when you start like at 8 p.m. I probably still have some friends over.
Yeah, the problem we had was a whole bunch of new things came out in a row, and they were all long episodes of coverage.
Yeah.
Like, so just give us a sec. We're gonna reset, catch up. We gotta do a meme fap as well. We still got Kong to watch and a bunch of Batwoman.
And Batwoman. Yeah.
So yeah, just EFAP is stocked up right now, and it's nothing but worrying, because this is the year of everything was supposed to be slow media-wise, and it's
coming out.
like when everything starts back up and there's like one movie per 2 weeks or some shit, we're gonna be like, well, time to pick and choose again.
The real thing is, by starting June, there's new Marvel content every month.
Oh boy!
Yay!
And also Suicide Squad, and then next year there's like 4 DC movies and 4 Marvel movies and like 5 Marvel shows, plus all the other stuff that's coming out from all these companies.
Yeah,
I'm sure it's gonna be great.
I'm so excited.
I'm curious what's gonna happen with Halo, because it's gonna be like, I wonder if we're gonna. Is there gonna be like an arc for that, or if it'll just be we'll just pick it up and have a go?
I think because when I think about Halo Infinite, I feel like this is a very important game, because whether it succeeds or fails probably determines the fate of 343 Industries.
And Halo, right? Like as an
and
IP.
Halo as an IP, because
Probably.
it's been 6 years nearly since 5 came out. There hasn't been any. Except for Halo Wars 2, there hasn't been like a new Halo game. That's the longest gap there's ever been. It's never longer than 3 years. And it's double that. And from what I understand, Halo Infinite is supposed to be a Destiny-esque platform for 10 years. You know, the whole thing of it's got to live for another 10 years. So they have a lot of long-term plans for that game. I'm pretty sure Microsoft doesn't have a lot of stuff coming out this year either. Halo Infinite's going to be real important, and man, I would like for it to be good, but the problem is that it's interesting. Last night I was listening to some of the soundtrack for that game, which is kind of incredible at the moment. They did a remix for Walk in the Woods, and it's amazing. But there are people in the comments like saying a game can't be bad if it has this soundtrack. It's
No.
like,
You fools!
please do not mistake the talent of the composers with like how good the development team is, or like how good the game is going to be. It is. This is what gets me real concerned. I'm pretty sure that this game is going to lean hardcore into Halo CE nostalgia. And I think they're going to do that by just having a lot of remixes. They have Undercover of Night, they'll have the Covenant Dance, they'll have all of these like songs that have a lot of meaning for people who played the original games, but they'll be transposed onto this game, and it'll be the same thing as when like Civil War music playing in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. It's like, I like this music, but like, it has nothing to do with what you've created.
I saw people trying to justify it. It's like, it makes sense because like it's a moment where Falcon is becoming Captain America by choosing his resolve or something, or Walker is doing that, you know?
Why would it make sense for the sad music that's the theme of the film, which is the heroes are fighting and falling apart? Why does it make sense for that song to play when Walker's doing a heroic thing?
The thing with that's the problem with like musical interpretations. There's probably some form of way you can hammer that in, where someone could be like, "Oh, it makes sense because if you think about it this way, blah blah blah."
I don't know. I feel like if you even just appeal to the major-minor differentiation, it's just like major usually means happy, minor usually means sad. I'm pretty sure that one is in a minor, just because it sounds sad. It's like you know, in the same way that I'm pretty sure Mysterio's theme, when it's the hero one, it's in the major key, and then when it's villain, it's in the minor key. I find it amusing that people shit so readily on those Spider-Man movies when even the music makes some really great choices that are kind of brilliant, like Mr.
Wow, you just said music being good does not mean that the thing will be good.
No, I know. I'm just saying.
Everyone
it's
says
the little
Spooderman
touches.
bad, so
it's just the little touches. Well, no, but in terms of Halo, I guess it's just people's memory seems to be really short. Like Halo 5's story was atrocious. It was a disaster. And now I think the strategy is we're going to ignore it, which is not good. You can't just ignore Halo 5.
The item.
You can't pretend it didn't happen.
That's the thing we always wonder about. Is like if you were set to write Rise of Skywalker, it's like, do you ignore TLJ? It's like,
Well, the problem is, like, again, you can't, and the cop out is, you know, we've talked about how time jumps, but Halo 6, Halo Infinite, I'm pretty sure is set 4 years after the other games. It's like, dude, 4 years? The entire Halo trilogy took place in a few months, and we're skipping ahead 4 years? Are you kidding? But it's because they want to distance themselves from it as much as possible.
I can understand.
Indigo
Well, I can understand it, but yeah.
But suggesting we play Ultimate Alliance. Does Ultimate Alliance have online co-op? Because that game is a. I do remember enjoying
on Switch,
it.
isn't it? Ultimate Alliance 3.
I assume. Does the Steam version have like? I don't know.
I don't know that it was on Steam. I think it was a Switch exclusive.
Marvel Ultimate Alliance. Are we talking about the same thing?
3. Ultimate Alliance 3.
Oh, I just meant the first one, I guess. I don't know.
Maybe the first one is, but I know 3 is on Switch.
That's where I learned a lot of like Marvel stuff that's not from the MCU, which allows like I remember meeting Mephisto, and I was like, I know what that is now. And then they were like,
I learned a lot of my Marvel stuff.
I also got a lot from the Top Trumps. I think that's when I first saw Apocalypse. I was like, this is cool.
Oh, so to clarify on the time jump thing, it isn't necessarily a problem. It's more just that it can be a problem because a lot of important stuff is just glossed over. The clear example would be Endgame. In that 5-year time jump, Bruce had the most radical shift in his character.
Yeah.
And we skipped it. We didn't get to see it. Like that. That is something that we could have seen, but they wanted the payoff, so they skipped all of the setup. That's the potential pitfall that you can have when you're doing time jumps. Is you skip the most important part, which is how we got somewhere. You just got to be careful. That's all. It's not something that I would ever say needs to be sworn off, because sometimes time jumps are necessary.
No.
Steam version has 4-player online co-op, pair co-op. Damn,
Oh.
that sounds. I'm impressed
That could be
almost.
fun.
I'm just gonna. I've said this before, and I'm gonna say it again. It's infinitely fucking infuriating that the Lego Star Wars games don't have online co-op. Fix that shit,
Yeah.
you
It's
bastards.
bizarre.
Were they developed by Nintendo? Like, what's...
Oh
think-
shit!
Well, you think the
Got him.
Nintendo would say you have to have this?
Yeah, and well, Nintendo are weird with fucking Mario Party, but
No, just weird. Just weird.
yeah, just weird.
Nintendo are
The
weird.
funny thing is, some people are like, it has remote play. It will likely have that. It's just like, I don't fucking care. Like, do you remember we tried to play a Little Hope with remote
yeah,
play?
Little Hope.
Yeah, that
And
just
like,
destroyed my whole
barely
footage,
worked.
basically.
Yeah, it was ass. And to be honest with you, I'm amused by the idea of the annual play of the retarded game for Halloween. But if we don't have the fucking capability of playing it non-tismy next year, it's like, I don't know if I can be asked to go through this stupid remote play thing again.
Yeah, it's really
Then
stupid.
again, are they even set to release a new game this Halloween? I don't know.
I think they are.
Ugh.
Sorry.
Stop. So wow.
Unless you're using the time jumps to give the characters easier setup for those characters' backstories for new standalone movies.
Mortal Engines is probably the best book I ever read, but worst movie I ever watched.
Ooh.
What was
The
your
movie
favorite
is
and least
something
favorite
else.
single scene in the MCU? Oh my god.
Jesus.
Most favorite's gonna come from Civil War. It's probably gonna be the final fight, if that counts as one big scene.
That's pretty cool, yeah. I really like that too.
Yeah.
It's not even
hmm.
it's not necessarily an argument from like what I think the best made scene is. It's that's the one that probably means the most to me because it's the Cap and Iron Man's giant clash sort of thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's really good.
That's pretty
I
good.
guess- yeah, if you include the whole sequence, like from as soon as they get there and the reveal, I think that needs to count. Because if it counts, then yeah, that is like my favorite MCU content ever.
And if we had a least, it could be when they attack Walker in the TV show, like that. I'm trying to think of what like angers me the most. Like that's one of them. It's so fucking rude.
If we include the Netflix shows, then it might also be the scene. I think it's in episode 7 or 8 where Matt's talking to his pastor about evil. That's a really good scene. But I don't know if that counts. We'll have to see when Daredevil apparently shows up in Spider-Man, or maybe She-Hulk, or maybe Doctor Strange, because all these fucking rumors would throw out that are probably bullshit. Don't play with a man like that. It's not nice.
I know a lot of people would
Tell me.
choose Yondu's death. I think probably. I think a lot of people
That was really good, yeah.
find that to
Yeah.
be really good. I don't know. Yeah, I as for, like, I guess they'd be mine. Has everyone else sort of gone through? Because I was just sort of thinking in my head, like, what are even the best and then worst?
I really liked in Endgame when Tony Stark kind of like met his father when he went back in time.
Well, I mean, I like that moment. The problem is everything that supports it is bullshit.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like that's the thing with Endgame. It has all of these little in isolation, really neat, great things. But
Yeah.
then once you zoom out even the tiniest bit, you're like, oh.
It's like,
Well, that's the thing. I really like the scene with Sam. I do. But
Yeah, absolutely.
goddamn, how we got there.
Dabs.
And what it led to.
If I had to pick like an actual scene that was only a couple of minutes long, it might be Vulture figuring out that Peter's Spider-Man. Such a great scene.
Oh,
yeah,
that scene's real
too.
fucking good,
That's
yeah.
great.
The
That's
lights changing on his face, which is why I get annoyed when people shit on like just the filmmaking of that movie. That's really good. Like this is good.
Well,
The fact that Vulture's theme is an inversion of the Avengers theme. Like, come on.
they can
Come
shit on Far From Home a whole bunch. Homecoming though is it's much harder because that film is fucking great.
Yeah, I want people to leave him alone. Stop shitting on him. He's like the best part of the MCU without a doubt at the moment.
Yeah,
could've been
because
Wanda, but then she got
even the Guardians
assassinated.
are in trouble with how we've left them from
Essentially.
Endgame. Yeah.
Well, yeah, because Peter got no consequences for basically being the thing that made the snap happen.
Yeah, he doesn't have to do it. I just mean like Gamora's reset. Drax didn't get his arc.
payoff. I guess Rocket's in a decent place.
Star-Lord is like kind of like, are we gonna get
Skittering.
him to actually like address the fact that he destroyed everything through his own
Well, the problem
fuck-up?
is that the next movie is Love and Thunder, so I don't know.
Well, I don't even know how that's gonna work because like Thor was with the Guardian. Like, what is happening? I don't
Well,
know.
they're
Took
in
away
it. The
a
Guardians
heart.
are going to be in
I
Thor
didn't see
4.
that.
Like,
Fuck.
they've been on set. They're definitely in it.
But Peter ain't poor
So-
enough, Ringy.
Yeah. Yeah, Rocket and Nebula are good. Well, it's not that the rest are bad. The problem is that
There's problems and they
there
need
might
solving.
there might be problems. Yeah. I mean, even Dave Bautista said that he was kind of not happy with the fact that Drax didn't get any sort of payoff with Thanos. It's like, yeah, I'd be a little upset too.
Yeah.
Because that was like a big.
They
part
really
of
built
his
that
thing.
up.
And I'm gonna say like crisis opportunities. Like this is a chance for James Gunn to turn that into something, to have him be like unfulfilled.
We have a middle episode. That's the problem. There's a gap.
Yeah.
Is Taika Waititi gonna? Does he even have enough time to address that if he has to do Jane Foster and all that as well?
I guess
And Thor.
that's the worry, right? Spider-Man's safe in a sense compared to them. It's just like, well, we'll just have to see what they do with his movie. We don't have like a, oh no, I hope they make sure to make up for this fuck up that they've done.
Well, it's because he's in a good place right now as a character. They don't have things to account for at the moment. The concern is whether having all these multiple spider people, if that's
Yeah.
gonna, you know, and Doc Ock and all that, if that's gonna cause problems. But I guess the main thing is, as long as Peter comes out unscathed, I'll be happy. If we get a Far From Home equivalent plot, I'll be happy.
Ringy,
For
don't
all
look at
of
chat.
Why? Uh-oh. Far From Home assassinated? No, it didn't.
He just told you not to look at Chad. You had one
Assassinated who?
job.
Yeah, it's like, I tell you, don't look, turn around.
Oh my
I told you not
god!
to turn around.
Far from a ruined Spider-Man. Are you insane?
The reason why people say this is because they believe it's out of character for Peter to, when he gets Nick Fury tells him to help, that he says like, nah, you got it handled, like I can't. And there are a lot of things that people forget in that scene. One, he aptly points out that if Spider-Man shows up there, they're easily going to be able to figure out that it was him who is Spider-Man. And then there's all of the repercussions of that he has to deal with, that he's not really in a position to deal with. But also, he's seen Mysterio successfully take down one of these things. It's not like his faith in Mysterio being able to do it is completely unwarranted. And just keep in mind that as soon as the threat shows up in front of him, he immediately jumped into action. That's the important part. Unlike in Spider-Man 2, where Peter saw a dude getting beaten up and didn't do anything about it. He just walked away. I would say that's pretty big assassination by comparison.
You won't hear pushback from me.
Please debate SK
Yeah.
Comics on Far From Home. They even covered your Far From Home debate on their podcast.
Huh?
Huh? Please debate SK Comics on Far From Home. They even covered your Far From Home debate on their podcast.
What happens if we don't?
Probably nothing. I don't know.
We get to keep being right, and they get to keep being wrong.
Oh,
That's what happens.
well, yeah, did we do 2 debates for Far From Home? Not like it's an impossibility. It's just like, guys.
He said please,
Alright.
so you have to.
Again, to reiterate, Far From Home is like a 6, probably. I need to rewatch it before I... It's just that because I recently rewatched Winter Soldier, and like when you rewatch Winter Soldier, it's the people always
Back
point to
here.
Edith.
It's like, if you really want to force Free into this position, he will say things you don't like, everyone, okay?
Yeah, because ultimately that's the important part, right? So like, Far From Home is not what I would do you know about Far From Home Fury messing with multiple films? But it's not Fury, it's Talos. What? I'm sorry, I'm not letting you distract me. Back on topic. So the actual
died.
contention is not that Far From Home is good, because I don't know. Because of 6, I'm not sure if that's good. I would just say that's like okay, above average. I don't know.
Well, and you're saying it could be subject to maybe even lower potential?
It could go lower, yeah, when I rewatch it. Because it's just when I remember what the big criticisms were. It's like the main chief criticism with Far From Home is Edith, which is accurate. Like, there are problems with Edith. I definitely don't agree with the problems with the drones in terms of their functionality. I think that's totally fine. You can find a way to explain it. But wait, it sounded like somebody wants to say something.
No. Go ahead.
All right. But the Edith thing, yeah, that's a big problem. Winter Soldier has a few Ediths. That's the big contention.
Just a few.
There are a few Ediths. The main one obviously being the computer man. That's
the
insane.
Project Insight was a pretty big one as well.
Insight is a big one. Yeah, it's pretty. There are a few of those. That's the problem. And so, if we accept that Edith is bad and the Winter Soldier has a few Ediths, like, surely that just alone would mean that Winter Soldier is worse.
And I feel like if an alien were to approach all this, they would have noticed, like, what is it with this Far From Home one out of all the MCU? Why is that one, like, picked on so much?
Hate it, yeah.
And that's, I think, to help explain for people who are confused, like, that's kind of where Fringy's going with this. It's like, why is it that Far From Home is thoroughly shit?
Okay, I'm not gonna stop anytime soon. I'm gonna stop though because it's getting late and I have to work tomorrow again. So yeah. Yeah, I'm doing good. I'm just getting tired because it's getting late. So I'm gonna stop my Strombobulus here now. And yeah, they'll probably still do more super chats. I'll probably hang out for a little bit and then I'm gonna go to sleep. But yeah, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for those bits and donations. Very nice. Thank you very much. And yeah, I should be back tomorrow. Bye-bye.